Okay, great.
You're unmuted.
Okay, so it is 6:34 p.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the August meeting of the Manhattan Community Board 2 Outdoor Dining Working Group. My name is Valerie De La Rosa. I am the chair of the Outdoor Dining Working Group. I'm also the chair of the board. I have Brian Pape here, who is on the working group committee, Stella Fitzgerald, who's the vice chair of the committee, and I believe we have Donna Raftery, who's on Zoom, who's on the committee. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go in the order of the agenda. If you'll give us just a few minutes, we'll put a link in the chat to that agenda. We are going to start, we're going to start with the first item. And then with the people that are here in the room, I'm going to make them an offer to go earlier so they don't have to sit and wait. And we will also look and see who's on Zoom applicant wise and confirm any member of the community that's on that wants to testify, so that anybody who's here to speak on an application, whether it's in person or on Zoom, that we get through those applications first, and then applications that don't have anyone here to appear, as it is all optional to appear here. Then we will go take those to the business session to discuss them. So with that, we will have a public session. We will call up each application individually. We will see if there's any public testimony. We will take that public testimony. And then we will have the applicants, if they are here. It is optional to be here. Thank you to people here in the room and on Zoom, both from the public and from the applicants. Then the applicant will have an opportunity to, they'd like to give a statement about their application. And then the committee, the working group, if they have any questions about the application, they will ask the applicant if they are here. And after that, after we go through all of the applications, we will then go into business session, where we will no longer take testimony from the public, and we will then discuss each application, take a vote. We have an advisory, we are in an advisory body. And so we will speak. If you hear words like approved with modifications or denial, we are just one part of the process. The application does not stop here. We'll continue through the DOT process. So in business session, we will take our vote. There likely will be follow-up on applications that the office will communicate with the applicant on any sort of follow-up. And then you'll want to be in touch with your contacted DOT on the status of your application. And that, I will call the first application. So Legendary Night Spots Inc., DBA The Duplex at 61 Christopher Street for a sidewalk cafe. Watch out with that cord. So do we have anyone here to testify on behalf of Legendary Night Spots Inc., DBA The Duplex? I just see anybody. Okay, so I don't see anybody with their hands raised. Sorry? Arturo. Oh, okay. Hey, Arturo. Arturo is also a member of the working group. Okay. Okay, so I don't see, do we have the applicant here for number one? Okay. So I don't see any public testimony for the duplex. I'd have to go and see what we've received, but we can talk about that in business session. Thanks for putting the agenda in. So, all right, so I'm going to propose we move number one to business session. Yeah. Great, okay. Next, we're going to go to Wogies Inc., DBA Wogies at 39 Greenwich Avenue, 10014 for a sidewalk cafe. Do we have the applicant here? Are we expecting the applicant?
They are on Zoom.
Okay, great. So we can promote them, and then we'll start with public testimony. So Leslie, and then Norma, and let's go ahead and get the applicant raised as well. So applicants will have, everyone will have 2 minutes to speak.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had raised my hand to speak about duplex. Is that what you were expecting?
It's not what I was expecting, but we'll take your testimony. We'll move it back into here. And let's take that testimony.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I had written to you, by the way, I'd like to correct it. I said they had an unauthorized sidewalk cafe. For years, they had an unauthorized enclosed sidewalk cafe. And after considerable community work with the DOT, that came down in the spring. However, they left their furniture all over the sidewalk on 7th Avenue South. And by the way, extra chairs lined up on the Christopher Street side of this location. My understanding is that this is a regional corridor. The Manhattan Borough President's map shows that it has a 20-foot sidewalk. Because it is a regional corridor, my understanding is again that it's a 12-foot clear path. If you look at the photographs that I submitted to you yesterday or the day before, I can't remember when,
Yes.
they are using a lot more than just 8 feet, which is what would be left over. They have corrals on casters that they are pushing out. They, depending on the evening, they'll push them further and further out. Due to the nature of that sidewalk, what it means is basically the pedestrian has got the subway grade. Now, I understand that the DOT thinks that's okay, but the fact is, if the width of that subway grade is not 12 feet, it's a lot less than 12 feet. So basically what they're doing is pushing their corrals on casters right up to the edge of the subway grade and using the rest of the sidewalk. The fact is, this gives them an 8-foot area. The rules on a regional corridor, in my understanding of it, give them an 8-foot area in which to have a sidewalk cafe. That's plenty. They're using more. And I think that that should be acknowledged in the comments on this one. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Leslie. Norma, are you speaking about duplex or about Wogies?
Wogies.
Okay, so nobody else on duplex, so we will go to agenda item 2, Wogies. Go ahead.
I sent in my comments and some photographs by email. I understand they've been forwarded to you. In brief, it's not at all clear where the wait staff is going to be reaching these, the tables, especially on Greenwich Avenue. And they have this kind of floating circular thing. If it's a table, as they have now, they're going to be using it with chairs, and it's going to exceed the scope of the proposed site plan. And it will also, I think, make it a longer trip for the wait staff to get out to the Roadway Cafe, which they have applied for and are operating with now. So I think there needs to be clarification in the site plan and possibly the removal of the circular thingy. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. There's no one else on Wogies, and we have the applicant here.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, how are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Carrie Rodman. I'm the Director of Operations for Wogies.
Oh, have we been saying it? Have we been saying it wrong? Have I been saying it wrong?
It's okay. We don't typically correct people. It's a tough one. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
I literally had no idea. And I've gone there before. I did not know that was how you pronounced it. Okay, great. So let me just pull up the application. Does anyone have anything they would like to start with on this application?
Did you want me to address some of the points that Norma had brought up or wait till the end?
Sure.
Okay, I was just Norma, thank you for the comments. To your question about the circular thing, apologies as I'm not an architect and I did the drawings, but that is indeed the circular table. We measured it when we were doing the site plan and it did seem to fit within the 8-foot clearance of the sidewalk, but it's very possible that in the setup of whenever you were out there, it might have been put in the wrong spot since we do lock it up at night. The other piece about how servers will get out there, we do keep a corridor in the sidewalk seating on both sides so that servers can go within the sidewalk seating to get to the tables, and then as well as like straight out the front door to get to the Roadway Cafe.
Okay.
I have a couple
Yeah,
notes slash questions. On the Greenwich Avenue side, yes, it is a neighborhood corridor, which requires an 8-foot clear path, but the DOT has kind of a secondary requirement that it's, that the sidewalk cafe cannot be more than 50% of the sidewalk. So in this case, on Greenwich Avenue, the sidewalk cafe is 9 feet and then the clearance is 8 feet. So even though that satisfies the neighborhood corridor required clearance, it doesn't meet the other 50% requirement. So on a 17-foot sidewalk, the cafe actually can't be wider than 8.5 feet. So that would just be 6 inches in, which is not that much, but.
Okay, yeah, I was not aware of that one and did a pretty thorough review of the resources, so apologies if we missed that, but our understanding of the rules, we were in compliance as with what we submitted.
So I know from when you used to have a sidewalk cafe in the past and an architect did the measurements, I think that your measuring might be off. And if in fact your sidewalk seating is 9 feet, then the sidewalk width should also be 9 feet. I'm looking at the old sidewalk cafe plans and it looks like it's a 18-foot width sidewalk. So that could be, since that could be where the error is, that you under measured a little bit.
I see. Okay, yeah,
I mean, I understand you did it. You did the measure. I'm not questioning you at all, but I'm just saying that there are architectural plans that were, stamped by an architect
okay.
that show that was 18 feet wide. So it looks like it that it should fit. And I see it looks like two different architects got that same measurement.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'll take a closer look at what we've submitted in the past, if that does become an issue with DOT in terms of that 50-50 rule. Thank you very much.
so, yeah, so we're just saying what we're trying to tell you, Carrie, is that if you look at that, make that correction to your site plan and submit that updated site plan to us, then we can move this along and not
Right.
have this drawn out.
So if you updated your site plan to say the sidewalk width is 9 feet, go back and
9
measure it
feet.
to double check it. Because if
Okay.
it's 18-foot sidewalk, what's left should be 9 feet there.
Okay,
You're leaving a
So
foot.
you'd be in
Yeah.
compliance is what we're,
Saying.
that's a valuable foot, so I will take it and resubmit to you guys. Thank you very much.
Any other questions for?
I do have one other comment, and that is that I know we're just talking about a few inches here or there, but your setup on Charles Street was only leaving 7 feet, 2 inches clear for that side or pathway. So that needs to be adjusted.
And sorry, is that in reference to the drawings we submitted or to a measurement that someone else took?
That's a measured on-site. That's the way you've been operating with a restricted sidewalk.
Okay,
So what you're saying is that right now, as you've measured, they're operating a sidewalk cafe on Charles that does not meet the 8-foot clear path
That's
required.
correct.
Okay. And so, and their drawing is saying that they will meet the 8-foot clear path, so what's changing?
so we have movable barricades that we just put out each day, so it's possible they're just not being set up correctly each morning. The drawings themselves were created under the assumption that we were setting up uniformly and in compliance each day. So that's the only difference.
Other comments?
Yeah, I have another question. A couple things. On Greenwich Avenue, there are cellar doors on the sidewalk, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I see those on Google Maps, but I don't see them on the site plan. If you could add those to the site plan, just so that it's comprehensive of the whole area.
Sure. We did submit the I can't remember, but the documentation required for cell, I believe we submitted, but I can add it to the site plan if that's helpful.
Yeah, I see that the box was checked, that there's the cellar door certification. So that's good. I saw that the box was checked and that there wasn't, I didn't see it noted on the site plan, so I was a little bit confused.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
it's not
an
about
easy
being, it's not about being helpful, it's more of just having the drawing be accurate for the
Okay.
record. Yeah.
Another question about Charles Street. Right now, there's the trash containers. That's true, right?
Against the wall.
Yes, for the apartment building, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought that it was kind of between the cafe and the kitchen entrance.
So they're not our trash cans though. We use private trash collection. Those are part of the walk up, like the 1 Charles Street apartment building.
Okay, yeah, if those could be added to the site plan too, just because right now in the drawing, it looks like the cafe goes all the way to the kitchen entrance.
Okay.
And then there's one other thing, there's a primary building entrance on the other side of the cafe on Greenwich Avenue, 41 Greenwich Avenue. And that would require a 5-foot clearance between the edge of the primary building entrance and the cafe perimeter.
I don't think that's our entrance though.
So it's not about it being your entrance, Carrie, it's that it's a primary building entrance it's a main set of egress for that building. So there needs to be 5 feet between that. It's not about it being yours, it's actually because it's not yours.
Even though our property line goes up to their, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the rules.
Okay.
It looks like there's already a built-in clearance of maybe a couple feet, so you wouldn't need to take off the full 5 feet from your cafe length. But maybe, I don't know exactly how many, maybe 2 feet or something like that. But you'd have to check. I don't know the measurement off the top of my head.
Okay.
That's all that I have.
Anything else from anyone from the committee? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. Appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to close the public hearing on Wogies. We can go to who's in the room. So do we want to go? I know that Jerry was here. So I made that offer first. So would you like to go? Okay, so we're going to call up number 11, ME Squared Bedford LLC, DBA Emily, at 35 Downing Street for a sidewalk cafe. We did have on the agenda that the setup on the site plan is less than 3 feet wide, which does not make it ADA compliant. So is there anyone here from the public that wishes to testify on ME Squared Bedford LLC? And then we do have the applicant in the room. We will invite the applicant to come up. If you'd like to come up to the table, I'll have you introduce yourself in just a minute. We'll hear from the public first. As a reminder, I know it's your first time here. You'll hear the public testimony, and you could just respond to us if you'd like to respond to it at all, but you don't have to. So who do we have up first?
Leslie and Maston.
Okay.
Yes, hi there. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, are you with the applicant or are you testifying on behalf of the application?
I'm sorry, I'm with the applicant.
Okay, got it. I guess since we'll do intro, and what is your role?
I'm the attorney representing the applicant.
Okay, great. And then we have, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, Jerry McLean, Vice President of Design and Construction.
Okay, great.
For Pizza.
Thank you. And so do we have, so thank you very much. We will go to you guys in just a second. So let's hear from Leslie.
Thank you. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes, very good. I just wanted to reiterate what you said before. There's a room here for a sidewalk cafe. The Bedford Street side has 8 feet sidewalk and Downing has 10 feet. And both of them require an 8-foot clear path. So clearly Bedford is out of the question since it's only 8 feet, period. On the Downing Street side, the 8-foot clear path leaves 2 feet, and there's no way that they can have an ADA compliant sidewalk seating on that side. Therefore, I think that they simply do not have room here for this sidewalk cafe. Thank you.
Thanks.
Can I ask you a question, Leslie? Did you measure the sidewalk?
I use the Manhattan Borough President's map.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that all we have to testify? Okay. Do we have any, if you'd like to address any of those or make a statement about anything else? But otherwise we'll have some questions.
Sure, Maston, you want to address or would you like for me to?
Jerry, if you'd like, certainly go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know, I just don't know if Topher is on as well. Don't want to exclude him.
Oh, sure.
Okay, we'll promote.
But yeah, Jerry, certainly go ahead if you'd like.
I mean, I guess as far as ADA compliance goes on the 24-inch wide seating section there, the site plan that we proposed takes the 4 tops that are there currently down to a 2-top 24-inch wide table adjacent to the building. I would have to look at the ADA code book to confirm that we can't overlap passageways with ADA compliance clearance. I know in interior design, you can include clearances in passageways. So I would just need to check the code on public right-of-ways or public passageways to see if that ADA clearance is applicable in this situation.
Yeah, and it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're all looking at the same diagram that it's actually 2 feet. We technically, I think, would have 2 feet 7 inches in order to allow for a clear path. So it would be a 5-inch, I suppose, variation that we'd have to look into. But that certainly is something that we do have to look into if there is some sort of, as Jerry was saying, that there's some sort of flexibility there.
I see what you're saying, that you, because on the site plan, right, it says 2 feet,
Correct.
but there's 8 feet, 7 inches left over that you can take in the 7. Okay.
ADA doesn't care if it's not the minimum requirement, that if it's an inch or a half inch. So I agree with that we do have the 2'7", but we won't get the 3 feet with what we've got. But I would also probably argue that sidewalk there is not ADA compliant either. So
The clear path requirement isn't about ADA. The clear path requirement.
Right, but the note,
pedestrian passageway.
the note is that we don't have ADA compliance in our section, in our seating area.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is that it can't be taken from the clear path because the clear path isn't about ADA. It's a requirement of pedestrian clear path. So that has nothing to do with ADA.
Okay.
That's the pedestrian mobility plan that the city had started. So that's why that isn't an ADA requirement.
Right.
That's a people moving through the city requirement. And that's why the city had overlaid that plan onto the sidewalks, because these are
Makes sense.
areas where the zoning previously precluded sidewalk cafes, and the 8 foot is the minimal requirement for any sidewalk to have for people.
Yeah.
The other issue here, which we were told are all the is that all the hanging stuff that you have goes way beyond
Drops from the face of our awning, yes, sir.
Right, and so, and from what I understand, those aren't permitted with the enclosures in the new program. So that's something that I think is the ongoing, because that's what had, when we received complaints, that was one of the big complaints, is that the awnings create the lack of space when they're down, because it's a rigid line, and obviously that condition's not changed
That's correct.
right now, so.
Yeah, I understand that that is the case. I would also like to, if you could, check out Google Maps, the handrails to all the cellar doors and the stairs extend out significantly further on Downing Street than our awning does. So not to make one wrong out of another wrong, but they're pinched down significantly less further down Downing Street than our awning does.
But I don't think that those drop-down enclosures are allowed, period. So that's because they're not meant to be a full enclosure on them on the sidewalks. So that was the issue. And I think that what happens then is that when they're used, it takes up the whole space. And because it's coming from the corner, that's where the issues become. So even if it's something further down the block, generally it's the corners and intersections where the most people are moving, crossing, whatever it may be.
Okay. So I think we gotta appreciate you pointing that out. I think we gotta take a look at that and the rules related there to awnings. Also possibly, given that we're within five inches here, maybe take get a second look at the measurements. A professional certified, what have you. See how that goes. See if there's any flexibility anywhere, because we are so close. Who knows? Maybe it's something that, I don't know, the fascia of the building needs to be
Trimmed.
We can drop down to an 18-inch two-top as well, so that gives us 6 inches out of our table. There's an 8, we can do a 24-by-18 table and then serve our customers on that.
I mean, your neighbor also had issues with the side. It's a very challenging in terms of location.
Yeah, the best part about what I'd like to say though is, and I think we've got some residents along the way that unfortunately aren't here to talk, is that with our sidewalk out there, it's certainly contributed to keeping Downing Street significantly cleaner because we have customers experiencing that sidewalk. So we do clean, 60 to 70% of the length of Downing right there in front of our building and the adjacent building. So I would like to point out that, we've gotten comments to our operators how nice Downing Street is now that we do operate that, because, listen, we want to have a nice place for our customers to eat. So we keep it very, very clean, tidy.
I'd like something.
Okay.
So obviously our role, as was said, was just advising on the rules that we are asked to give our opinion about. So we go and we measure the sidewalk, and my measurement is that the sidewalk is measured to the curb line, which means the place in the sidewalk that separates the sidewalk from the curb structure. That is 9 feet 11 inches on Downing Street. And so what we're asked to do is to apply the code of the clear pathway on that 9 foot 11 inches. And at the same time, to see if a cafe can be set up on the sidewalk that the tables and chairs can be served from within that line of the cafe. In other words, it's required to have barriers to demarcate the seating from the clear path.
Perimeter, yeah.
And then the wait staff is supposed to serve those tables inside of that space and not from the sidewalk. So that is what we're given to apply to all sidewalks. And we will simply be making a note of what it looks like for feasibility. So that's what we do. And whatever compromise might be worked out, that's somebody else's.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you to clarify? Sorry to interrupt.
I'm done.
How the measurement that you talked about there and where, you know, because that's obviously a little bit different from what we have here, which appears to be I believe a DOT measurement. So you were saying, you know, you get you have the sidewalk and then the curb. So you go to sort of the building side, right? Where the curb starts. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that would be a good way of describing it, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that curb is a two-piece pour from the sidewalk, so there's a clear delineation between the curb pour and the sidewalk pour.
So, and it's not a subjective thing, it's how they define what a sidewalk is in the rules, as not including that, the curb that is from that line.
Monolithic pour,
Huh?
if it was a monolithic pour, we would get that extra.
That's right. So, that's,
Okay.
yeah, and, yes, so,
Let me, sorry. So your recommendation, you know, I gotta ask, cause haven't done too many of these sidewalk, cause it's a newer sort of procedure. Is it best to hold it, cause I know committees are different, to request a holdover here to see if we could maybe come back to you guys and talk to you before it advances through the committee process, and try to provide some additional answers to you, or
so we have, so the legislation for this program gives us 40 days. I'm sorry for that number so long. We have 40 days to review these. So we have to submit our comments by the beginning of September.
okay.
And so, because of when this was referred and how our meeting schedule runs. So our goal is to find compromise. We want our businesses to thrive here. We're just going with what the rules have been given to us and to protect what, you know, the rules. So we're just gonna give our advisory opinion, whether that is, so I will either add an additional 30 days to the process. If it is a denial, it would get called up to a DOT public hearing.
Gotcha.
But it's nothing, it's just of what, we're just trying to apply the rules unilaterally to.
Sure. No, I certainly greatly respect that. And your recommendation goes to the board?
It'll go to the, we'll submit it to DOT.
DOT.
Our elected officials will receive it because then it goes into the next iteration of like a member review. And at that point, there's it's all in the rules, so I don't need to explain all, but that's, yeah. So that's it. Again, we're an advisory opinion. It's one part of the process. And there's a wish that there had been rules that were a one size fits all, but there's so many different areas in our neighborhood that could require perhaps something that would be more accommodating without losing any sort of, but anyways, that's all.
Gotcha. Well, thank you.
Yeah, any other comments from the committee? Okay.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so number 11, I'm going to close the public hearing on that. I will make the offer for number 19 for Lafayette Street Partners 2 LLC DBA Lafayette, 380 Lafayette, for a sidewalk cafe. Do we have anyone here to testify on this application from the public online? I don't see any hands raised. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. Matt Borwick here from Hilberon Levy, here today representing Lafayette. Also have Omar, the general manager.
Yes, I'm Omar.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so let me pull up your application. Does anyone have something they want to start with?
Yes, I
Okay.
could start. When I went and measured, you have always been set up with a clear path of 10 feet on both sides. And so I was, of course, pleasantly surprised to see that You-
Omar.
Even without- Before this application, you have been operating that way, so thank you for that.
Great, appreciate it.
Okay.
I think the only other thing is sometimes, I don't know if you still have all the lines. So it's over, okay. So that was the only other issue is
That was-
combining.
yes.
those
Was like a
together.
pastry you guys had?
The pastry ones, yeah, it was. But,
I wouldn't want to say you didn't have one, but I hadn't noticed them.
We got rid of it.
Pastry's over, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think the main issue, because I know that you guys had rearranged some of the seating in there, right? Through
Correct.
with the construction and
the scaffolding.
scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, my observations have always been the same as Brian's, that there's the clear path is out there, with the exception when the lines were there.
Other points you want to go over?
Something that I'm forgetting how we've talked about this before, when there's a signage connection within the sidewalk cafe. If there's a radius of 5 feet around it, but it's still inside of the cafe. What have we said about that before? Does anyone remember?
I don't remember. You remember?
They have to push the chairs.
Yeah, it just had to be.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's
It can be
okay.
within it.
They just have to
Okay.
be away from it.
Okay,
I
so
think
then
that's my recollection.
Okay.
note that here. I have another question about what's labeled the main entrance. This is on the Great Jones Street. I'm wondering, is that the main entry?
No, that's the employee entrance.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I
If
thought.
it's on the Great Jones, that's the employee.
Right, okay, okay. And then another question. Sorry, on Lafayette Street, it looks like there's a primary building entrance right next to the edge of the restaurant, so like the restaurant ends here, and then here's the primary building entrance. That would need to have a 5-foot clearance baked into the site plan. So if that's this entrance, then you would need, 5 feet from there to the edge of the cafe perimeter.
Okay.
And it looks like there's already, some space
There is
there,
a space there.
but it just needs to be the 5 feet, so it might dig in a little.
Great. Yeah, we can definitely get that measured, make sure you have that clearance.
Thank you. Oh, one other really small thing, sorry. There's the fire hydrant that's on Great Jones Street that's on the plan.
Mhm.
It just needs to be noted here as well.
Okay, yeah, we
Just
can.
check the box. Yeah.
Are they both regional corridors? Oh, yes, it says right there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's all the questions. Yeah. Do you have anything else? Anything else?
All right, thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll send those, because again, we don't, we want to not have you do an extra 30 days on this, so you get to meet. So if we can just get that stuff corrected, then we can send in an approval with modifications. It seems like it all is pretty agreeable,
Yeah.
so we'll send that through. Okay, thanks. Thank you,
All right,
Omar.
thanks so much.
Very much.
Matt.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Great, so that's number 19, and then, if we want to do number, great.
Thanks a lot.
So let's also do, number 7. We're gonna continue, I'm gonna close the public hearing on number 19, and then we're gonna go to number 7, so welcome back up. So we're going to number 7, San Paulo Hospitality LLC, DBA Ambra at 569 Hudson Street for a sidewalk cafe. So I have anyone here to testify on this application, please raise your hand. We have the applicant's representative here. I don't see any hands raised on this one. I feel like we got
Yeah, we did get an email.
testimony about it on email. So I just thought maybe it would be good to address the way I'm at here. Matt, would you like to make a statement?
Yeah, sure. Again, Matt Borg from Elmer Levy, here representing Paolo Hospitality LLC. Just as a quick note, got confirmation today from my client that they'll be removing the entirety of the West 11th Street Sidewalk Cafe from the application.
Okay.
Do you know if they talked to DOT about that yet?
Not yet. It was just today that this came. It's yeah, on my desk.
That was identified in some of the comments that we got about the measurements of that. So thanks for that. Okay, so we would definitely want to have an updated
Yes, of course.
2 documents that just show that not on there, just to confirm that. As you've offered that up here. Any other comments from the committee?
It doesn't show it, but there is a principal building entrance on Hudson Street right next to your cafe.
Okay, just.
And again, as we noted before, you show where that entrance is located and that there will be 5 feet between that door and your cafe, then that follows the rules.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, and then just following through with that, there's a box here as
Gotcha.
22.
We did receive a comment that said that the Hudson Street side diagram does not show the junction box attached to the lamppost. Even without allowing for this, the clear path will only be 7 feet, and with it only 6 feet where it should be, or I guess with the junction box where it should be 10 feet, the clear
We're
path.
talking about this.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering
I don't
about
know
that
if
Yeah,
it's
too.
how do we
never
measure
given.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been told
Okay.
the clearance from the light pole,
Right,
Yeah.
but
but,
not from a junction box,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
and it is up off the sidewalk, so
Yeah, I
I'm sure
mean,
there are
okay.
rules about,
I'm just telling you what the comments we received. I haven't like verified what the veracity of those are, but I was just in case somebody wanted to address it here. Okay, any other comments from the committee?
So I'm just trying to look through my pictures. It's great they got rid of that sidewalk seating. They weren't supposed to be having it with their liquor license stipulations. I just want that on the record that they've been having it for all this time. And they haven't been setting it up to maintain a clear path, unlike their diagram for all this time. So that's great that they got rid of that. I don't know that they are maintaining the clear path as they should be on Hudson Street. Just trying to. Because I think they're setting it pretty much just straight across. They're not doing what they have in their diagram. There's no, it's just going straight. It's not jutting back in. And I don't think they have that 10 feet.
From the fire hydrant you're referring to?
From the lamp post, they need the 10 feet.
Okay.
Street light.
Mhm.
It
Because it's parallel.
shows it. It's parallel. It's parallel to where they're set up.
so,
This is how they're setting up.
Gotcha.
So I don't think they have that 10 feet.
Okay.
There, it's just straight across
Okay.
that area. So they have to set it up so they maintain the clear path properly. And not have their, we always say something about the host stands, and when the host stand is right there, when people go to walk in, nobody can walk in and everybody's standing blocking the sidewalk.
Gotcha. It creates kind of like a bottleneck there.
It's everybody's just standing there, they can't come in.
Gotcha.
So, and all their service is supposed to happen from within the sidewalk cafe, not outside of it.
Is that it?
Yeah, the drawing is not accurate to where that light pole is, because it looks like the light pole was actually right in the corner there, and it's The lamppost is, yeah, you see how their seating goes in for the 10 feet by the hydrant? That straight line needs to go straight across because the lamppost is in the same position as the fire hydrant. And their sidewalk cafe is exactly opposite it. Not, as you can see from the picture, not like it is in the drawing. It looks
Meaning
like it's
like
not
the-
parallel, but
the
in the
light pole would-
photo.
It's not quite in that
Yeah.
bend of the corner, is what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, like
more-
it's directly
Yeah,
across.
yeah. Okay, got it.
So on the section 2 required clearances, both for the streetlight and for the fire hydrant, a minimum of 8-foot clearance from the sidewalk cafe.
But I need
But
10 feet
10.
because
On that
it's,
side.
their path is 10
Because
foot.
it's parallel.
It's
It's
not,
a regional corridor.
if it's parallel, it needs to maintain the clear path.
But if it were not, it was on. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Anything else on this one? Any questions?
I don't think so. Just to recap, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So we'll update the plan for the 11th Street side to remove that. We will include that 5-foot clearance from the building entrance on the Hudson Street side. We'll take a look at these measurements on the light pole and the fire hydrant as well to make sure that we have that 10-foot clearance, as well as that junction box. I'll see if the DOT has anything to say about that. And then addressing the kind of bottleneck with the host stand and ensuring that we are serving from within that cafe.
That one's better. It's not nighttime. You see,
Right.
like that lamppost is clearly
It's right.
right opposite
Yeah,
their
it's
sidewalk.
a
cafe. It's
straight
not
line.
Like,
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Also, I forgot, there's awnings, so we would just need these boxes checked.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
totally.
Great, that's it.
All right,
Great.
thanks so much.
Okay,
Thanks for taking me early.
sure, no problem. All right, I'm gonna close the public hearing on it's number 7. Thanks. Next, let's call up, let's go back in order. Do we have anyone here for number 3?
Are you here for one of the applicants? Sevilla. To just comment from the public, or are you with the application?
No, we're comments here for the neighbors.
Okay. All right, give us, okay, so get, let's call on, we can call on that one.
Yeah, I
Do
think
we have an applicant here?
they're going to be here.
Should we approach them in?
Yes. Yes,
It should be Robert.
okay,
Go for
Robert,
Robert now.
Beyond?
I don't see him on.
Oh,
Okay.
really? I saw him
Oh,
on
no, he's
earlier.
here. Okay, let me get him up.
And he also has 10 and 13.
And it's number 17, right?
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Robert. Is that right that we have you for number 10, 13, and 17? Is that it?
I have 6, 10, 13, 15. I don't think we have 17.
Oh, that's what we're on now.
Oh, it says, I think,
Our agenda might have the wrong.
I think Florence put you on the wrong.
Oh.
Okay, well, welcome up here. We'll
leave
back
you
to
there,
Yeah, we'll leave you up here. So you're
Right.
not in this application. So there's no one from this application.
No,
here.
no.
Applicant. Okay, so we're gonna go to number 17. So we'll see you just a bit then. We'll go to number 17, Seville Restaurant and Bar Inc., DBA or Sevilla Restaurant at 62 Charles Street for a sidewalk cafe. We have someone here from the public who'd like to testify on this application. If we have somebody else online, who's.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
get her up.
all right, perfect. So please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lori Freed,
Hi.
58 Charles Street. We own the building with my husband and Alan and
Okay.
I. He grew up here. Ever since COVID started, we've had some issues with them. I see their application. They're asking for 3 tables on West 4th Street and 3 on Charles Street. And if you look at our pictures, that is not what happens on Charles Street. They double book or they double line. So there is no clear, I'm learning about clear path tonight. There's no clear path. I think it's called free for all. Platters come out of the kitchen hot. And then pedestrians, I mean, can't really make their way through. And these people are a lot of times neighborhood people, so they have walkers, they have kids' trikes, they have large packages, they have their own dogs. It's awful. And in addition to that, taking up the double space there, they have these concrete planters, which you cannot move. So it takes up even more space. So it's kind of a disaster. In addition to that, they have for lack of a better word, a troubadour who plays guitar music and sings badly, I might add, inside and outside the restaurant. And a lot of times people join in. And usually by the time he gets to the buzz and Sweet Caroline, I am out there in my pajamas talking to the manager on duty to say, please stop. They're in bed with me. It's terrible. So, and they'll yes. And then the next day it's like Groundhog's Day. It's like it never happened. So
I saw the pictures that you sent in, and the seating set up in the furnishing zone, which they of course don't have on this plan because it never would have gotten to us, but they are operating currently with the tables in the furnishing zone, which is the space next to the curb, correct?
Correct. The pictures don't lie.
Right, and they're supposed to be in compliance with the rules currently, and there have not been.
Yeah, that's really right.
And then a lot of times there's like a utility tray, like right outside the kitchen where they'll just sometimes stash dirty dishes or something. So I hear the clatter of that also. Am I missing anything?
Right, which they're also not, can I may see these? Just-
Yeah, I brought 3 sets and there's copies that we sent with our commentary.
Photos, wow.
Leslie actually, give credit to Leslie. There's an old photo where the shack is up, and that was from Gay Pride 3 years ago.
2023.
Yeah, and that was even worse because there was like a rat family living under there. It was terrible.
And the service is clearly taking place inside the sidewalk.
They own the sidewalk.
And these concrete planters are not supposed to have anything related to the cafe in the furnishing zone. And this is from.
When are all these photos from? Are they all from?
This one's from 2023.
Right.
The
other ones.
These are all recent.
The other ones are recent.
They are recent. They're from this year.
Oh, they applied for Roadway.
They never have applied, from what I understand, for anything. It's a free-for-all.
Well, they applied for the sidewalk.
This is the first time they've applied, but previously.
Right.
And you talk with them and
I more than talk with
yes.
them, yes.
And nothing changes. That's frustrating. Just helpful. Thank you. Boy, they sure, for someone who doesn't,
Donna, Sammy has her hand raised.
who's Sam?
Okay, well,
He's representing another application.
On this
Another
app, it's not on
application.
this application, is it?
No.
okay. Then.
FA, I'm the lead.
But Leslie Clark is raising her hand too.
She should be up there, right? She's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here. She lives around the corner.
And just Sammy,
So is
we'll raise you up when we get to Cellar of Omelet.
And we'll call on you sooner than it is. I just have to see who else is
Yeah,
online.
that's from their application that I downloaded.
Oh, no, I know. I know. It's just kind of,
Yeah, one of the notes I see on their application is that they will remove the concrete planter when they set up the sidewalk, which they haven't done.
where does it say that?
It says
Right
that on
there.
the West 4th Street side. I don't know if that applies to
But
Charles.
it's
Are
not
there
movable.
planters?
Yeah,
Are there-
they're concrete.
But
Yeah.
are there planters on West 4th Street?
There is one planter on
Okay.
West 4th Street.
I think
Yeah,
that's
there it is.
the one they're thinking about removing because it says existing planter.
Well, and that's something you can't just push. That has to be physically.
Yeah, it's heavy duty.
It's like a sarcophagi from a pharaoh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions for Lori? Okay, let's hear from Leslie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for hearing me, the committee. Yeah, Lori knows it as well as I do. She lives right next to it. I live down the block from it. I had 20 pictures over 2 years to choose from. I chose the ones that I thought best showed it to you. I sent you 6. I could have sent you another 6 and another 6 after that. You see how they use the total use of the sidewalk. They just haul, they're like picnic tables. They haul out there. They leave barely any room at all, especially on the Charles Street side. But it's equally bad on the West 4th Street side because it's a 10-foot 9-inch sidewalk. I've measured it. Plus that, as Lori says, that sarcophagi, that the 2 feet by 5 feet planter, and there are 3 of them on Charles. There's a total of 4 of these. I don't know what they are there for. All they do is take a very narrow pedestrian clear path and make it almost invisible, because then you're bumping up against these concrete things. This has gone on for years now. The only time they stopped is when they applied. When you guys when they showed up on your agenda is when they stopped putting the tables out.
Yeah, there's no table. Oh, they're not open.
Right up to the point that their application arrived at your doorstep. It is very difficult to imagine that they are suddenly going to show some kind of concern for the neighbors, given what you see in the photographs. I mean, that's my testimony, the photographs. So thank you.
Thanks. Okay, any questions?
I have a question. What do I do? I mean, let's say you turn down this application or whatever. I mean, what recourse do I have? Do I go out and I just show them stipulations and say you're out of compliance? Do I file a 311 complaint?
Definitely file 311 complaints.
Do I call the police? Because I've tried that.
As frustrating as it is, it does create the record.
Right.
I think that
Something about SLA as well.
well, the starting point is this document about with the date, right? The time, put through and one by submitting a photograph with it to the Dining Out NYC. I think that helps them to, without having to go to the site, see what you're describing. If it's repeated a number of times, I think it helps them properly respond to that.
Make a paper trail.
That it's there.
Okay.
And then Brian was just referring to when they come to add this to their liquor license, the space, that's another time that it can be raised, but they're only permitted to serve alcohol within the space that the DOT allows for them to do. But the biggest thing, I think, from what we've been told, is that the dining out folks are in the process of ramping up their enforcement. And what does that mean? I don't know, but that's why the documentation is so important, because then they can just see what it is, and taking good pictures is very important. It's like not something up close, so you don't, can't really tell what's happening. It has to be enough back,
right,
to show
like what we've done.
Yeah,
right.
And those are and just marking the day and the time of the occurrence. And,
so they have 6 311 complaints since November. I look at them from November 1st.
Probably from me.
Huh?
They're probably from me.
So I would say they probably closed. I would say the ones from May about an unauthorized restaurant, because they'll just say, oh, they have their application submitted, so they're allowed to have. So you would really want to, the site setup condition is the issue, would be the one you would want to check, because the unauthorized, they're going to see it, they're going to see they have an application pending, and they're going to close it.
Right, and what about the music? They don't have a cabaret license.
Well, I see the NY.
The guitar player, he's outside?
that doesn't require, that's just a performance, and that's not a.
Okay, so.
You can still complain about it. It just isn't a part
You
of
would be
the
complaining too,
license.
he's that
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely encourage you to complain.
If
when
they
you see
have
that.
music
Yes.
coming from the kitchen, or they have music from the restaurant, like
So there's-
sometimes they have blared.
So there's 3 noise complaints that went to NYPD on, I just can't see the dates, May 17th, March 7th, March 1st. Okay. Those, that's all that I see on there.
So keep those cards, letters, and complaints coming, basically.
Yeah, and it's a site setup condition.
Yeah.
So if you do an authorized restaurant, you just get frustrated because they'll say, nope, I see an application, it's not unauthorized, they're allowed to be set up, but they're supposed to be in compliance with the rules.
Okay.
Which, you know, have the perimeter demarcated, a lot of people don't, which is its own thing. So, yeah. So, yeah, okay, yeah, that's it.
All right, denied?
We're not moving on that, but thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks, and thank you, and thank you for the pictures.
Excellent.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So I'm gonna close the public hearing on number 17. And so from number 3 on, who do we have that's here?
You wanna ask Robert which ones he has?
He told us.
I did not.
10, 13, 6.
Those are the ones that I
15 and 6.
thought.
Oh, do you have 10?
Urena Rest Corp.
Yes. You have that one? Sorry, can you just say all
Yes.
the numbers one more time?
6, 10, 13, and 15.
Okay, 15. Okay, and then really quickly, do we have anyone from 3, 4, or 5 here?
Not that I wrote down earlier.
Okay,
Not that's on the sheet from Florence.
okay,
Maybe there's somebody here who didn't RSVP, but
okay.
Donna, David has his hand raised.
David has his.
David who?
Well, now,
Gruber.
Oh,
what is everybody raising their hand for? Is what I'm
I haven't
questioning,
called, I
because
haven't
nothing's
called
been
up.
called yet, so if everybody could just put their hands down until we call the next item, please.
So do we not have anyone from number 3 here?
Is anybody here for number 3?
Violet Force LLC, DBA Ciccio Cincin, at 681 Washington, either to the applicant or to testify.
Leslie Clark is here for Bart. Probably a bunch of the residents are here.
Okay, so there's nobody here for number 3, so let's move that to business session. Okay, so next, let's go to number 4, Vevamo Partners LLC, DBA Bar V at 10 Morton Street. The applicant here. No.
We told that this applicant was removing.
We were told that, but
Who's we?
SLA committee was told that the applicant was removing the sidewalk
By the applicant.
by the applicant, but
Removing the sidewalk cafe application?
yes, from at least our evaluation that
Last
evening,
week?
yes.
Okay, so when was this referred to us?
But that,
This
you
was
know,
referred,
that was part of a negotiation, I think. So who knows?
this was referred like the week of July 16th.
Okay,
David, I don't know why I can't come up, David.
I'll email DOT.
There.
I gave him permission to talk. Oh, now he is here. Okay, so, David?
Yes, hi.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Great. I'm here about number 4, Bar V.
Huh?
We saw them the other night at the SLA committee where they said they were withdrawing their application for their sidewalk seating, which they did tell us at that time, and also at a community meeting with 9 people that we had, that this was really a flag so that people will know that there's a restaurant there. It's not the purpose of our outdoor seating program. It's not a flag. In any event, they are out of ADA compliance with which Leslie Clark will go over. She has all the details on that. But I'm here to say I'm surprised that they're here for this. I thought they were going to withdraw as they told us. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, David. So we'll just clear that up really quickly. So this application was referred from DOT to CB2 for the outdoor dining the week of July 16th. So DOT does not retroactively come back to us or any community board to say, hey, the applicant withdrew. Usually if we reach out, the applicant will tell the office, hey, we ended up, we're withdrawing or whatever, and we would have been told that, but I don't think we received a response from them. So that's what it is. We'll write into DOT tomorrow just to confirm that they withdrew it with DOT. And if not, we're still going to talk about it so that if they haven't withdrawn it, we have something to say about it. Okay. Leslie?
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to just repeat what David said and what Donna said, which is that they said last Thursday that they were going to withdraw this. We're here because we really care that they do withdraw this for the simple reason that, quite apart from everything else to do with their liquor license, this is a 10-foot sidewalk with an 8-foot clear path. That gives them, if they have the proper ADA compliance, that gives them -1 foot for a sidewalk cafe. There is no room here. And I thank you for allowing us to put it on record that we do not want this here because there is no room on this very narrow sidewalk. It would be the only one on this very small street of Morton Street. So thank you.
No problem. Like I said, we don't have anything official. We don't have double confirmation, most specifically confirmation from DOT that's been withdrawn. So we have to treat it as though it's a live application, but we will make that confirmation tomorrow. We will vote on it this evening, just in case they did not withdraw it. All right, anyone else?
Yeah, let me, Beth is here on this one too, so we might as well let her.
Beth put a comment, says, ditto what David and Leslie said.
She's here, so she will be on as well.
Hi, Beth.
Hi there. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. Just wanted you to know that I was here to represent 13 Morton Condo Association. And again, just reinforcing what has already been said.
Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so with that, I'm going to close the public hearing on number 4. So next, do we have anyone here for Pasquale Jones?
That's number
5. Is there anyone here to testify for Elmer Kennedy LLC, DBA Pasquale Jones at 86 Kenmare? I'm not seeing anyone, so I'm going to move it to business session. So next, we're going to go to number 6, Akram Restaurant Management Inc., DBA Gennaro at 129 Mulberry for a sidewalk cafe. Then I think we should go to, then after that, we'll go to the seller of Amelie and get them out of here because I know there's someone down there. Okay, Robert, hi.
Hi.
This is yours, right? No.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I think I circled it. Okay. Questions for, I want to promote Sammy up to for the next one. So we'll go to Sammy. We'll go to number 18 after this one. Okay, so what questions do we have about this one for? I know we're back on Little Italy. It's really nice where the closed street is, Robert. I was on Mulberry this evening.
Can you hear me? Community board?
Hi, we're not on your application yet. We were just promoting you for now. So
Yeah. So I just want to know if you can hear me.
We're calling you next. We're not on this application yet. So I'm going to mute you and then we'll call on you. Okay?
But you said seller of Amelie.
Yes, we're not on that one yet, but we're just putting you up on the panel so that when we go to that application next, we're gonna call it up. We're on number 6. We're gonna call it ahead of time. I know you've been waiting, so I want to get you out of here. So just give me a few minutes. We're gonna go through number 6 here and then we'll call on you.
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay, so, but Robert, we're seeing where it was an open street where it was closed off. It's really nice because it works, with the whole thing, but I guess it's really more for the roadway than it is the sidewalk. But anyways, okay, so.
So
It does help a little bit.
Yeah, I was over there measuring and I was able to talk with the proprietor for a while. Not aware of the 10-foot clearance path.
Yes.
So I was, sympathetically making her aware of that, but it's something that we've had several applications on Mulberry Street where the restaurants have these big folding doors, so they open up the whole wall to the sidewalk. And I believe that in some cases, we see that there might be a compromise of serving with ADA access from the inside, even though the seats are on the sidewalk. But the plain, as you look at this and apply the rules, it is, I did measure the sidewalk, it's 12 feet and not 13 feet because they must have included the curb or something. But I double measured it with the proprietor there. And so there's only 2 feet left, and under normal circumstances, that's if they would add a barrier to demarcate the seating, there's really no room for serving. So that's the situation all up and down Mulberry, but it's a case here too. So I guess the only compromise or leeway that I see might be the fact that they have open walls.
So, yes, we got the open walls, which will help us. Michael and I were speaking about this one today. We were talking to the owner because it's a 10-foot, you need that 10-foot clearance. And with the measurements they're shown on the plans, it's only showing 8 feet. So we were going to talk to them about doing a remeasurement and trying to fix it so everybody's happy. And we can have that 10 feet clearance also.
Anything else?
I saw that there's a primary building entrance at 129 Mulberry, which is that to the north, so that's to the right.
Okay.
It's 129 Mulberry. So that would mean, the 5 feet of clearance. Oh yeah, wait, is it listed? Hold on, sorry. Let me look at this again. Wait, okay, so on the site plan, there's the restaurant entrance and there's a door next to it. Are there 2 storefronts? I'm just looking at Google Maps.
It is on the corner, if that's what you mean.
There's only seating on one street?
Oh, it looks like it used to be two storefronts on Mulberry, but now it's just one.
Yeah, so our main entrance is that right at the corner, with how the storefront's cut out. But there are other doorways. Trying to find myself a good picture on. We do have these the 2 entrances right here. And the one is, I believe it's going to be used as a serving way, but could find out more about that one. Like I said, we want to do a little bit of remeasurement because we didn't do these measurements originally. They came to us after the fact, and that's when we saw that it was they left 8 feet instead of the 10 feet.
Is the
It
sidewalk?
looks like that 10 feet or the 8 feet was revised in the version that we have. It looks like there's a 10 typed into it. Like there's a typed 10, maybe where yours says 8.
Yeah, mine shows 8 here. I'll show you the
So
one.
you know what
I
that
have.
sounds like? Sometimes DOT goes in there and adds a comment. You can see,
Yeah.
I think in Acrobat, it might say the person's name.
Yeah. Do you want to see the plans I have?
Yeah.
It says 8 feet and then it says 12. Interesting. Okay,
So
they,
yeah, down here it shows 8, but then over here it shows the full 12 feet of the sidewalk.
and what we have here, I can share my screen. What we have. What we have is it's like a typed in 10 and then typed in 13.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't us.
Funny.
12 feet.
But it sounds like their original 12 foot is what Brian had.
Yeah, that's what we have as well.
And that's what the historic plans have as well.
What, a 12 feet?
Yeah.
That's odd.
And you mentioned the principal building entrance, so that would,
Right.
that note needs to be added, that there's a 5-foot
Yeah.
clearance.
I think the primary building entrance is right here. This just threw me off, but I think it's right here.
So from looking online, it does kind of look like that one table would be in the way on the right side.
Right. And then it's also a question if this is 3 feet or if it's 2 feet, having a 4 top.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we wanted to talk to them, talk to the client about it and try and see what they're thinking, and then we can give them our professional opinions and talk to them about this, because like I said, we didn't do these ones originally, so the fact that it says 8 feet, you guys have 10 feet. I'm assuming that was DOT that probably changed that.
Say in the comments in the PDF. I just still don't understand how this is ADA compliant, whether it's if it's a 12-foot sidewalk and you need a 10-foot clearance, that leaves you 2 feet for the sidewalk cafe. Even if you can serve from the inside, so you don't have to worry
Still 2
about
feet.
wait staff, it's only 2 feet, which is not ADA accessible.
Right.
That's
That is-
the bottom line.
All right, I could find out. I could talk to Michael about it.
On all of these sidewalks, which you just may want to remind Michael that when we had the conversation about the SLA and we were realizing these sidewalks, where everybody had the sidewalks before, they're not going to be able to, in theory, have them now because they're not ADA accessible. So all the road beds are 11 o'clock and everything in this whole area for closing, for all those reasons, because what they were getting rid of the sidewalks was one of it.
All right. Thanks, Robert.
No problem. Yeah, so like I said, I'll talk with Michael, I'll talk with the client, and we can see if we get some new plans done and get this figured out for you guys.
Okay, I appreciate you guys taking that. You guys are proactive. Thanks for that. We appreciate you knowing ahead of time, like we got a discussion about it, so.
Yeah, well, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's the one thing I know they're
Yeah.
gonna bring up, so I was like, we'll definitely discuss that.
Okay, all right, so give us just a bit and we'll come back to you.
Not a problem.
All right, thanks. All right, closing the public hearing on number 6. We did bring up number 18, the seller of Amelie LLC, DBA Amelie, 22 West 8th Street. So we're gonna go to number 18. We're gonna go to number 8 and 9, who I know has also been waiting. So I did not realize that, and now we know. So we're gonna go to the seller of Amelie LLC, DBA Amelie at 22 West 8th Street for a proposed sidewalk cafe. And we're seeing here that it's been identified that the proposed sidewalk cafe width on West 8th Street setup is less than 3 feet wide, which is not ADA compliant. So I know we have the applicant here. Sammy is on and has been raised. Do we have anyone here from the public that wishes to testify before we go to the applicant? Not seeing anyone, so let's go to Sammy.
Hello, Community Board 2. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Thanks for taking the
great.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure for me. And I just want to let you know that Emily is like just putting a couple tables, like 3 tables outside. And we respect our neighborhood and we respect everybody around us. And we want this West 8th Street stretch to be very safe. And also like our table, I'll like fold down like every day, like before 10 p.m.
Okay, we don't really deal with the hours here, but we can speak about the other setup in the site plan. So does anyone want to start with any questions we have for the applicant? I'm just gonna pull it up myself here.
Brian, you measured the sidewalk, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so we do have a 10-foot clearance that the DOT requires for the sidewalk. And this particular sidewalk to the curb line is 12 feet 4 inches. So that really doesn't leave enough space for.
Yeah, we do have like 20 inches tables, very small table. We don't take that many space, and we always clear the sidewalk for walking people, wheelchair, or anybody else. So we don't have like people stuck on the sidewalk. So just to remind you that.
Is there a pathway to an approval with modifications here by getting to the 3?
Adding onto the sidewalk?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I know. I'm just asking if there's a way, if there's.
Yeah, I mean, it's a regional corridor, so there needs to be 10 feet clearance. And for ADA, and there needs to be at least 3 feet of space within the cafe.
Yeah, DOT asked for 8 feet clearance, whatever it is from the sidewalk to the restaurant. So I think we do have a room for putting 3 tables over there. So.
Well, it's a regional corridor, at least that's what's checked off on the application, is that correct?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, the site plan also says 10 feet. 10 feet clear path.
Total 12 feet, 4 and
4.
Also need a barrier, and so once the barrier is set up 10 feet from the curb, and you have less than 3 feet of space for your cafe, you have to serve those tables within the cafe space, and so
yeah,
you can't get to the left side table. You can only get to the ones near your entrance. Well, but it's still a crowded situation for a person in a wheelchair that requires 3 feet of clearance.
We do have like more than 3 feet of clearance to go behind the light post and the rest of the table with no problem, even with a wheelchair. And I think like what we want is like to be part of the neighborhood and to be safe and see people outside sitting. It's very, very secure for a lot of people, and we don't want to have those streets to be empty of people, because otherwise we have all the crowd from the Washington Square, like we have
Thank you, Sammy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, the thing here is just measurements, and what you're hearing from, I think, from the people on the very are they've measured, and that's what the measurements are.
Yeah, but I understand the concern of the community, which is very great. But
these are the rules. These are,
Yeah. I understand the rules. Absolutely, I understand the rules. I just want to say, like, our street need to be safer than pre-COVID, and the Washington Square
that's
Park
a separate.
is right there.
But that's a separate
Thank you
issue.
so much.
yeah.
Sammy, thank you so much. I think we have all of the information that we need.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So, I mean, is the plan going to be modified to reflect accurately?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear this question. Can you repeat
My
it?
question is the plan going to be modified to accurately reflect what the situation is?
Absolutely. You know what? We live with the neighborhood, and we love the neighborhood, and we love the people
But
living
that's
in the
not,
neighborhood.
I'm just saying with the accurate measurements.
Actually.
We do everything you guys ask us to do. So it's like you said, it's basic.
The diagram itself does not show the width of where your tables are, and it's lacking a perimeter, but the bottom of the. Let me just finish, please?
Yes.
Bottom of the diagram does show that the width of the sidewalk cafe, it states it as being 2.5 feet. And the diagram shows a 10-foot clear path, which basically comes out to within an inch of your measurements. And the 2.5 feet, what we are saying is you need 3 feet to be ADA compliant, and 2.5 feet is not 3 feet. It just is.
When you're taking a, like on the table on the right, it's going in, or I guess with the way the seating is, it's going into the sidewalk, where I guess maybe if, I don't think it works. I don't think it's gonna work either way.
Well, when I look at the photographs that you supplied, when the seating is parallel to the store frontage, that it fits.
But it's not ADA compliant.
Yeah.
It's not ADA.
So, but the way that your diagram is that really the seating sticks out significantly.
If you want me to remove that table, I will remove it.
I think it's,
no problem.
I think he's just saying the way that it's cited is different. The way you have it cited on the site plan has people's backs to the pathway, whereas in your photographs.
Okay, the way they're sitting against the window of the store. So they're not on the path of the people walking through. I always see people to clear the path on the side of the window, and I don't see them like in.
No, but their seats, this is different. The way you have the seats on here is different than what's in the photograph.
Yeah, I might have to send you a photo of how I seat the people, and you can see it clearly. They don't block the path.
Okay, thank you so much, Sammy. I think we have enough information that we need. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, anytime.
Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing on number 18. And now we're gonna go to number 8 and 9.
Who's that?
So number 8, sorry, number 8, Arvine Hospitality LLC, DBA Arvine at 19 Greenwich Avenue for a sidewalk cafe.
Yeah.
So if anyone's here to testify on that, please raise your hand.
Yeah, Andy online. Okay, thanks, Donna.
Okay, so we have the applicant on, who's been raised. So Andy, I don't see we have anyone else to testify. So Andy, if you'd like to make a statement about your application, and the committee's gonna pull it up and see what questions we have. Sammy on, I mean, not Sammy,
Yeah,
Andy,
he's up there,
sorry,
yeah.
okay. Andy? Can you introduce yourself? Hello?
Andy, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Can everybody hear me now?
Hey.
Okay,
All right.
perfect. Excellent.
Hello, thanks. Thanks for
Good
taking the
evening,
time.
everyone. Thank you
Hi.
for having us. My name is Andy Jean-Jacques. I'm the representative for Arvine, which is a brand new French restaurant opening up on Greenwich Street. The applicant or the restaurant itself is proposing to have sidewalk cafe. We did the measurements and we're definitely in compliant with DOT regulations in terms of clear path and being a certain distance from furnishing and side means connections. The establishment is looking forward to opening up around September and of course to invite the community and be part of the community.
Anyone want to start with questions?
Okay, I'll start. Hi, Andy. It does seem like this is a very wide sidewalk and lots of open spaces there. Just that you have your neighbor has a primary building entrance, and that requires 5 feet of clearance. And it actually, with that Siamese connection, and you have to have a clearance from the Siamese connection, it might be that when you combine that with the 5-foot clearance from the other building entrance, you might have to eliminate one table, but it's that's the only thing that I have seen on the plan that might need some adjustment.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, we don't mind removing one table if it's necessary. I specifically looked at the DOT website and I know it says primary entrances cannot be blocked or obstructed. So I didn't see the 5-foot clearance for entrances. I saw it definitely for the Siamese connection, but I don't have a problem removing a table.
Thank you for that. We can send that to you.
Brian, did you note the other primary building entrance? One on either side?
The other one seemed to be another storefront rather than a primary. Not sure about that, but
Okay, let me share my screen.
thought it was a business entrance rather than residential. So my note was for the one on the right side, which
Google Maps, there's not a great picture. But I see this prime, what are you talking about? This one here?
Yes.
Or,
that's
okay,
right.
I think that there's also one on the other side here. Or is that wasn't, you don't think that is?
Okay, yeah, it's your storefront is sandwiched in between 2 other buildings that have residential entrances, so.
Yeah, so there would need to be 5 feet between the edge of the door here to, you know, maybe here. Oops. And then the same on the other side.
Got it.
And it doesn't have to be from this black line, just from the edge of the door itself. But like Brian was saying, it's kind of taken care of by the signage connection. But if hold on, let me switch my screen so I can show you the site plan. Because the building entrance is here, this table cannot be here. It would need to be on this side of the signage connection. Because we asked DOT before whether the 5 feet can be satisfied vertically like this, like the way that you're doing it for the signage connection. And they said it has to be like a horizontal 5-foot clearance, which would mean that this table would have to be, well, I guess the fire escape is the problem here. I mean, if there is room here where it doesn't have a fire escape and it's 5 feet from the signage connection, it could be here, but otherwise just this one. I'm not sure if this is here.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much for that.
If I had any other, those are my only comments.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so I think any questions for us on that one? Andy, otherwise we'll go to the next one that I believe you're also here for. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Correct.
So I'm gonna close. Is there any other comments or questions on number 8 on Arvine? Russ.
I just want, you signed stipulations with us for the liquor license. There were stipulations signed that included, I see your liquor license is conditionally approved, and included the outdoor seating. And at that time, you had, for whatever reason, there were less tables and chairs. So I may just give you a new stipulation agreement to reflect the current number of tables and chairs.
Well,
Once it's
just gonna
adjusted-
revise, yeah,
Once
revise.
you send the revised plans in, the stipulation for that was signed with our liquor licensing committee that went up to the liquor authority said not more than 4 tables and 8 seats. So.
In total?
Yeah, so if 5 tables and 10 seats fits, I don't want you to have a problem. I don't want to limit you if everything else fits. You understand what I'm
Okay.
saying? So.
Yes.
Once we see your revised diagrams, you may get a new agreement from us, just so you don't have any problem with that.
So the revised diagram would require 1 table to be removed on the left side?
And on the right side as well, you'll need the 5 feet clearance. I don't know how many tables that will mean, or maybe the smaller tables, but it would be on both
Okay.
sides, yeah.
Okay, so send that revised diagram to the board.
Yeah, they just have to.
We'll send you the
Stipulation for this.
like a reminder of what all these things are.
They have to file the.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
Unless it's part of the original.
It was part of the original, they had sidewalk in there, so then they probably won't, so I should, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna close the public hearing on number 8, and now we're gonna open up the public hearing for number 9, 20X Hospitality LLC, DBA Spicy Moon Vegetarian Szechuan at 68 West 3rd Street for a sidewalk cafe. Is there anyone here besides the applicant on this application? So if you'd like to testify, please raise your hand. I'm not seeing any, so let's go to Andy.
Which one is this one?
Yes.
20X.
Got it, yeah.
Okay, yes. So this is for Spicy Moon, which is a vegetarian vegan restaurant that's been in existence for a couple of years. They have a small space outside because the entrance to the restaurant is actually a ramp for wheelchairs. So on the left side of the restaurant, they would like to put out 2 small tables, or maybe if one to have outdoor seating, but that's the extent of their space.
Okay, we'll just want to make sure, we'll send this to you to communicate with them just about the tables. I know it's not on their site plan, but I have seen tables in the furnishing zone. They're next to the curb, just so that is.
Before we get there, how are the tables and chairs accessed? Because the railings block server.
The servers exit the front of the restaurant, walk around, and then we'll place food on the table from there, from the main entrance.
Yeah, I have the picture up.
And that's the problem, is that the service can't be from the sidewalk, so they're walking around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the measurement of this is. But if it's within this, if the sidewalk cafe goes out further, then I guess they could step off of this and then still be within the perimeter of the cafe. But I also have a note here that says, since the sidewalk width is 12 feet 4 inches, and there's an 8-foot clear path required, that would make this 4 feet 4 rather than 5 feet for the cafe.
4
width.
feet? Okay.
4 feet 4 inches.
Which still works, but
Yeah, which is
how is the
fine.
service
Yeah, I'm
access?
just mentioning that because I don't know if this dimension is more than 4 feet, 4 inches? You think so?
I mean, usually those squares,
Yeah.
I mean, they all vary a little bit, so, but I think there are 4 feet, 4 feet, 4 inches, something like that. Brian?
Well, I measured the sidewalk. And again, the DOT rules or the definition in the city code is that a sidewalk width only goes to the line of the curb and not the curb itself. And so the actual sidewalk to the line of the curb is only 11 feet, 1 inch. So if you subtract the 8 feet of clearance, obviously you only have 3 feet.
What is the 3 feet, 8 inches in your note? Was that the width of that ramp?
That was the ramp itself.
Okay.
So if there's 3 feet, 1 inch for the tables and chairs, but the ramp is 3'8", it's locking that space for tables and chairs in a corner that can't be reached from your entrance. You have to, as you say, your path is to actually go out in the sidewalk and serve from the sidewalk, and that's not allowed.
We need to serve from the ramp.
Yeah, you need to lean over the railing.
Over the ramp.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case something hot falls on somebody's, we're not.
Yeah.
I mean, the restaurant wouldn't recommend that.
Yes.
So
But
yeah,
the service will come out to the main entrance, step down, and then enter the seating area.
Wait, sorry, can you say that one more time?
Sure. From the main entrance, servers would exit the ramp, step down, and then make a right to where the seating area is.
Right, the issue is that DOT says that all serving has to be done within the perimeter of the cafe. So there would be a barrier here at the 3 foot 1 inch mark.
There would be a partial barriers, similar to what's shown in the drawing, where there's an entrance and then the 2 sides are enclosed.
I guess like the ramp is not shown on the plan, and that's what's confusing.
Yeah, so the ramp goes out to, here, there's the railing. So really it wouldn't be accessible to the servers or customers because they would have to enter through right here, but there's the railing right here.
and that's a key point. It has to be accessible for the
Yeah.
customer inside the cafe.
Right, so they couldn't, walk out and around this way. It would have to be this way. I'm guessing that you can't remove this railing. Right.
Well, you saw it a long time ago. Also, the
And there's step down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a way, fortunately.
I can speak with the owner of the establishment to see if the railing, the bars can actually be removed, and which would then.
Well,
open up
also,
the-
we also don't want to be in the business of advising. That's also a safety, like, we don't want to be in the business of advising. I don't want to be in the business of us saying you should take down that so it's accessible. That's a whole other issue that introduces of liability that we're not really here to opine on. But that's what, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, do you have a roadway application?
No, because there's a no standing sign.
Oh,
right there.
it looks like a roadway seating down in that photograph. Down the street.
Oh, no, as from where they are, there's no standing, but further down the street, you can. I'm assuming you can.
Okay.
That's too bad too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. All right. You have any questions for us on that one? I'm not sure what our modification could be because I don't know what it is that could be fixed.
Are you sorry, talking to me?
I said, I'm not sure what the modification would be to ask on this one, because I don't.
We can discuss it.
Yeah, we can discuss it in business. We'll discuss it in business session. I'm just saying out loud, I don't know what to tell you to be the change.
Sure.
Okay, I think that's all we have on this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Bye. Okay, so thanks, Andy. So that's gonna close number 9. So then, Robert, number 10. And then if there's anyone that's on Zoom, if you're here representing an applicant or you want to testify on an application we haven't called yet, you can put in the chat what application number and name. And we want to get everyone out of here that is not, if it's the last one that you're here for, I'd like to move it up. So, or lower on the agenda. So please put what you're here for if you are the applicant and if you're testifying. If you're here to testify or if you're the applicant. So we'll call on those. Great. Okay, so I see Eric, number 16. So let's go to Robert on number 10, and then we'll go to number 16. I don't see anyone else indicating that they want to testify on an application or that they're here to represent an application. So we'll go to Robert for number 10, and we'll go to number 16. And then we'll go back to the rest of yours, Robert, and get you out of here.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So let's go to number 10, Urena Rest Corps DBA Arte Restaurant at 21 East 9th Street for a sidewalk cafe.
We have a couple more people. Number 24 is also on Zoom, and Norma said she wants to testify on number 14.
Okay, so Norma, 14, and then number 24. Okay, is it the applicant?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move that one up as well. Okay, so is anyone here to testify on Arte Restaurant? Okay, I'm not seeing anyone. So does anyone wants to start with their comments or questions for Robert?
Is it possible to put the plan up?
What'd you say?
Can you show the plan up?
Oh, yeah. Download it because it's, sorry, it's rotated. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, so yes, I noticed the residential entry, you have it shown. So we just ask that you actually add the dimension from the actual door opening to the 5-foot clearance. You seem to have much more than that for some reason.
Yeah, we have 7.7 feet 2 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's there.
So I don't know why you have that much, but we do like to see the 5-foot demarcated, and that would be nice. Yeah, other than that, I show that there is a 14-foot 5-inch sidewalk. I think that's
Which is exactly what they had. Yeah.
You show.
Yep. Yeah, this one's a lot easier one than the last one. Okay, so we're just going for the 2 tables. We're giving the 7 feet 2 inches.
Is there a fire hydrant there or something? I mean, not a hydrant. Is there a Siamese on the wall or something else for that 7 feet 2 inches?
No.
Okay, so
Just the owner just wanted the few seats out there. Nothing crazy.
Okay,
Just
so
wanted something simple.
So just ask that this be labeled primary building entrance and then also marks here with that 7'2".
Okay.
Donna, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say probably the only reason they don't add another 2 tables is one, the 5 feet, but also serving. I appreciate that.
It would definitely be over the 5 feet then, or under 5 feet if we added more tables.
I mean, it's nice to see a plan with accurate measurements and somebody setting up that can comply.
Yeah, I just just looking, a lot of times we get these diagrams, they're not to scale. Maybe the tables and chairs aren't accurately depicting what's going to be out there. So we have to kind of guess. What you hear us saying is that from applying the rules that we normally do, we see that you might have a little more space for tables and chairs, which would give you a little more flexibility about how you arrange them to make sure you can serve within your cafe space. That's all. We're trying to encourage you to use what you can.
Yeah, we'll talk to the owners then.
Yeah, it's not usually that we get to do that.
Okay.
No, it does happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on 10 from anyone? Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing on number 10. Number 12 is number 12, Saigon In and Out Corp. DBA Saigon Shack. 114 McDougal. Anyone here to testify on that? Otherwise, I'm gonna move it to business session. Okay. Let's do 13. Lunella Restaurant.
Oh,
Jay?
someone's here for 16 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry.
Well, we're gonna get there. So 13, Lunella Restaurante, DBA Lunella Restaurante at 173 Mulberry. Anyone to testify? Yeah, it does, yeah. Not seeing anyone here to testify, so. Any comments on this one? Is there a pathway to?
This is Lunella.
Yes.
Same thing, okay.
It is the same.
I know, I just think, is there any pathway to?
Well,
There's a step up to the inside, not that really helps.
If the sidewalk is 12 feet, 3 inches, and they need the 10 feet, then there's not really a pathway.
Yeah, there's also the
Sidewalk is
primary
11
building.
feet, 10 inches
On both sides?
for Lunella.
Okay, Robert, anything on this one? No?
No,
Okay,
it's a tough one.
all right,
It's a primary building entrance on each side also?
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna close the public hearing on this one, number 13. Let's go quickly get Norma's testimony on number 14, and if there's anyone else, then we'll finish out with Robert and then go to number 16. So number 14 is 753 Washington Trattoria Inc., DBA Mala Parte at 753 Washington Street for a sidewalk cafe. You know, Norma Cote is here to testify on this application. She can raise her hand, or she's, okay, here we go, she's on. Okay, so Norma, and if the applicant's here, if they could raise their hand, but I don't think they are. Norma? Okay, so let's move on. We'll come back to number 14. So let's,
I think,
ready?
yeah, I had myself muted, I think.
Okay, hi.
If you look at the plan here, you'll see that the area for the sidewalk cafes on both Bethune and Washington are stated to be only 4 feet wide. That is not room enough for the tables that they want to put there. It doesn't make any difference whether they orient them so that the table itself is next to the wall and the two diners sit opposite one another. Each one having an arm out to the wall, or whether they rotate it 90 degrees and have just the one diner with their back to the wall and the other one out into the sidewalk. I've given you some photographs of both kinds of setups that were taken this afternoon. And although they may look like it's a pretty airy setup, they're not, when you realize that they haven't allowed any space at all for a service aisle. At best, this space is only going to accommodate a single table for two against the wall. And I compare it to the roadway setup that they have here. They said they're going to have tables for three in the roadway setup, even though it's 5 feet wide, but they want to have 4 tables for 4 on the sidewalk, even though the sidewalk area is only 4 feet wide. I'd also like to point out that there's a contradiction between the tables shown on the site plan and what they're actually using. The site plan calls for a total of 15 tables. They're storing 19 tables in their roadway shed when they're not in operation. And also, they have built their roadway cafe out a third bigger than what they applied for. They applied for a 20-foot cafe and they built it out to 26.5 feet. So I have grave concerns about some of these empty spaces that they've shown in their site plan on the sidewalk being filled up with these extra tables. Now that's my contribution.
Thank you. Any questions for Norma? Okay. Any other testimony from anyone on number 14? I'm going to close the public hearing on number 14. Robert, number 15. Let me say the application name. New Zoe 21, Inc., DBA Local 92 Soho at 244 Mulberry Street for a sidewalk cafe. Proposed with the cafe on Mulberry is less than 3 feet, not 88. Who wants to start? Is there any pathway to making this work, or is it just, it's the sidewalk we can't change?
Yeah, I mean, technically you could gain 7 more inches because right now it has a clearance as 10'7", but you would still be under the 3 feet.
Okay. Robert, any comments on this one?
We could talk to them about this one, but I'd have to speak with Michael about this one as well.
Okay. And I think we can close the public hearing on this one. I don't know if there's anything else to discuss on this one.
Primary building. I guess the perimeter line is really faint. I can tell that it's there, but it's, hard to see. But the perimeter boxes are checked, so presumably it's there.
Where are you looking at for that?
Just the perimeter, there's a very faint line around the tables and chairs.
Did you show them the plan?
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk with Michael about this one.
I think that's the ones we have for you, Robert, correct?
Yeah, that's all of them.
Nice to see you. Thanks for taking the time.
It's great seeing you guys too. See you on the next one.
And the next one, I'm going to close out the public hearing.
Good night.
Good night, number 15. Now let's go to Center number 16, Center for Goods LLC, DBA La Mercerie at 53 Howard Street for a sidewalk cafe. The proposed sidewalk cafe width on Mercer Street setup is less than 3 feet wide, which is not ADA compliant. I believe we have public testimony and the applicant is on. So I know we had Darlene, and then we'll go to Jamie Greenwald. So let's go to Darlene.
Good evening. Thank you. Darlene Lutz, Soho West NYC. I want to support this application, although I see the some of the difficulties in doing that because of the location. That it's, I know it's one size fits all, but I'm going to say this is an asset to this particular street in Soho because it goes from Canal to Howard. And most of the community does not traverse Canal Street very often, I would say. We've got the counterfeit business going pretty strong. This is a breath of civility that it brings to that part. It is very charming. They have a large roadbed and they also have a large sidewalk cafe. I don't know how many seats. I'm guessing 70 something total. And the other issue that they have to serve off of Howard Street. But this all brings this corner kind of more centric to, a very charming atmosphere because that corner at Howard and Mercer is got its issues. And so does Canal. So this is a very good asset to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Jamie?
I'm part of the applicant.
You're part of the application team. Okay, and so Eric, you guys let's introduce yourselves.
Sure. My name is Eric Mesri here with Jamie Greenwald, representing Center for Goods, DBA La Mercery. Darlene, very much appreciate your, comments and your appreciation of it. Obviously, a lot of work goes in from our team to keep that, sidewalk and cafe and space in that condition that it is to be a benefit to the area. We're here just to, take everyone's suggestions and notes on this and hopefully come back with whatever we can do to make this fully agreeing to all the rules.
Thank you.
I am Jamie Greenwald and I am the VP of Operations for Center for Goods. And just again, Darlene, thank you for your really kind words. We definitely put a lot of thought into making the street beautiful and accessible. And the street vendors right now, especially over the past 48 hours, have been crazy that have been out there. So, at least we try to add try to make it a little nice on the street.
Great. All right. Brian?
So I was just wondering, right now it's labeled as Roman and Williams Guild in New York. Is this changing hands or changing ownership or what?
Center for Goods is the LLC.
I'm sorry.
Center for Goods is the LLC. RW Guild is the DBA of it's a restaurant and then it's a retail store.
So should we have called it RW Guild on our agenda or do we have it wrong?
No, the La Mercery is its own entity as well. That's a sub entity of Center for Goods / Roman and Williams Guild. It has its own EIN as well.
So you're saying that it's going to continue as a Roman and Williams Guild, New York?
Yeah, the legal name is Center for Goods LLC.
Wait, sorry, what's it?
I understand you're saying legally and on the paperwork. Are you changing the name of the restaurant?
No, the restaurant is La Mercery.
Right. The Roman and Williams is the store, is the retail store. This is the restaurant component.
Yeah.
of it.
Inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And so the name of the restaurant is
Right, there were-
Rotisserie, and all of it is, and it's under the Center for Goods LLC
All right.
corporate name.
So you're talking about continuing your operation and you've got a forest of potted plants. You're crowding the corner, the accessibility ramp, the curb cut down to 6 feet, 6 inches of accessibility. That's unacceptable. You can't take over the sidewalk with all these potted plants. And that's the way you've been operating for a long time. And that's
You mean over
no
here?
good.
at this
Yes.
corner, Howard.
Yeah.
I walked by and saw the same thing.
That's an older picture. We've really.
I'm sorry, I was there yesterday and it's there.
Yeah, I also walked by yesterday. My photo, for some reason, I can't airdrop it to my phone, but it looked just like this.
Okay, we'll definitely,
Happy to
we'll
take that
take the
and
pots
take a
out.
look at it. Yeah, for sure.
We'll
We're
take the
more than
pots
happy
out.
to take a look at this and get this corrected. We obviously don't want it to be a, problem with the curb cut and the clearance for the, accessibility on that corner.
And have you already gotten the roadway license or permission? Has that been reviewed?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, the thing that I'll say is that the sidewalk is not ADA accessible at 2 feet 4 inches. It's not 3 feet.
Yeah, no, we.
And I don't, and that's issue number one. And then issue number two is how do you serve from within the sidewalk cafe? I mean, maybe
So the tables.
the tables will be small enough and not like this diagram so that you can go through there, but either way, it's still not ADA accessible on the sidewalk.
Yeah, heard on the ADA piece, and we're gonna take a look to try to correct that after this. The tables are the drawing is a little off of scale, I believe. The tables are a little narrower than the lane that's marked on the drawing, so there is space for the staff to.
Okay.
The tables aren't 26 inches, I believe they're 20 or 22. So we're trying to work within that area of being able to clear, not going into the 10 feet clear path for the sidewalk. But, heard you on the ADA piece and, we're happy to take this back to our team and figure out a solution.
Okay, anything else? Is there, okay?
And just the ADA.
I mean, I don't know how you get around the ADA issue. It has to have the perimeter, and so if the table is small enough, maybe somebody can walk within the 8 inches if it's 20 inches, but it's not ADA. That's the problem.
Yeah, this is tough. It's obviously very beautiful what you have set up, but that's not what we are told to look at from the.
Of course.
Okay, is there any other questions we can answer for you?
No, I don't believe so. I just want to thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Okay, so that's number 16. We're going to close the public hearing on that. And then we've done those. So now we're going to go to number 20. Blue Bond.
Do 24 first.
No, you're good.
Oh, let's do, oh yeah, sorry, let's do.
Razor.
Yeah, thank you for that. Sorry. Let's do 24. Thank you so much for reminding me. Fabrizio Cavallicci, DBA Cafe Reggio at 119 McDougal Street for a sidewalk cafe.
Guys, sorry, I got bumped out for a second, and I can't hear you right now.
Can't hear?
Oh, here I can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and then I don't think we have anyone here else to testify besides the applicant's representative. So let's. Who wants to start out on this one?
Oh, well, the way it's set up right now, there's only 6 feet of clearance on the sidewalk.
8 feet. It's supposed to be 8 feet.
No, I'm saying in place, in practice, your setup, the way you operate and have been for a while is that you leave only 6 feet of clearance on the sidewalk.
Okay, I'll correct that. I actually was measuring yesterday. I had 8 feet from, because this, I mean, we've had the sidewalk cafe license with Department of Consumer Affairs. That the 8 feet has changed, and the whole setup is an old setup. That's not a new setup. We didn't order any new parts to the setup. So the old setup was made to make sure that there's 8 feet clearance between the road and our gate. And that's why we have the gate, so people don't spread out, because people like to spread out.
Oh, so they used to be, so under the old program, it was 2 tops in there and not 3 tops, it looks like. And that might enable someone to be able to walk in that area.
So this is the current plan with these third seats sticking out. We have this historic plan of how it used to be, where there's only the 2 tops. So that third table, or I'm sorry, that third chair is not there. And it also seems like it would obstruct people from walking through to get to, from here to, you know, the far end of the cafe.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't use those chairs.
Okay.
Why are they on the plan?
Yeah, then why are they on the new plan? Yeah, so I guess why are there chairs, why is it that row of chairs there? I mean,
Which chair are we talking about? I'm sorry, could you point at the chair?
This one, and this one, and this one.
So this drawing was made as part of the road cafe application. I honestly didn't really pay attention to it, but we haven't changed the actual setup that we have, unless somebody like moved the gate out. Because like last night I was there at 10 o'clock and I had to like push the gate back to the cafe because it kind of like went into the sidewalk a little bit. But we don't have to have those chairs if you're saying that it's less than 8 feet, because on the drawing it says right here 8 feet, which means that the architect, because I didn't draw the plan, the architect drew the plan. So his plan says that we have the 8 feet. I just trust it.
Yeah, but I guess the point is you may have the 8 feet, but how does anybody walk around to access these chairs?
How does someone get to that number 3 table on the left?
So you would move this table and you would move this chair a little bit. You ask people to scoot a little bit. You know, that's what we do at Reggio.
And then how do you
Sorry,
serve?
how are you? Huh?
How do you serve to that table if you're coming out the entry? Are you constantly asking everybody who's sitting next to the gate to get up and move their chair so the server can go down to the far table?
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't offer that as a thing.
Yeah, I mean, the old cafe worked.
So this is an old picture. This is not a current picture, guys.
Yeah, I know.
No, we get that, but I was
Okay.
just by the diagram, and the old cafe worked because it was all 2 tops. And you could walk back and forth. This just.
So it sounds like, I think we just kind of need to say, like, in order for us to get to an approval of modifications on this one, we would ask you to remove that row of chairs.
That's fine.
Okay.
Not a problem.
And I had one other comment just about, there's a primary building entrance right here.
Yes.
This one.
See, now this looks more like the current setup. You see how there's no chair? There's only, there's 2 people sitting and there's 1 person sitting. So we kind of have it on the map just in case we want to pull up the chair, but we don't actually use it because we have these gates that we put so people don't slide out into the sidewalk, because sidewalk is tight, you know, and last thing I want to do is frustrate the neighbors with, you know, people sitting on the sidewalk, honestly.
Right. I was just gonna comment on this primary building entrance here, leads to this building. DOT requires that for primary building entrances, there needs to be 5 feet of clearance between the edge of the primary building entrance and the edge of the cafe perimeter. So you would.
Of the sidewalk cafe perimeter?
Yeah, so there would need to be another perimeter, like perpendicular to the building here.
How big is the perimeter?
I guess it'd be the width of your cafe, so it'd be 3 feet. But
How big? I'm sorry, could you say it again?
I was just saying that the perimeter here, not here, but here, would need to be the width of your cafe, so it would be 3 feet perpendicular to the building, kind of creating a little.
Okay, so it would go to the side of the window, right? The gate that is put in that.
It would need to be 5 feet from the edge of the door here.
But that would make it halfway into the cafe.
Something like that, yeah. I don't know exactly where it would fall here, but it would, yeah, it would come into your space a little bit. It would dig into your space on this side of the door.
And then on section 2, you'd want to mark the box S22 or the
On
primary.
the site
building.
plan form.
Yeah, so down here, there's a box for primary building entrance. And that's where you would check it and then say 5 feet, because it needs to be, you know, a minimum of 5 feet clearance.
I'm really not fully understanding how the side of the cafe is part of the building clearance. Do you know what I'm saying?
So the primary building entrance would need to be labeled here, and then a measurement from the edge of the primary building entrance.
Right. So we will move that side gate to the end of the cafe's wall. But
Yeah,
how can we move it to the middle of the window? That's not the building's
this one
part.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the perimeter would need to be the size of the cafe on this side. So it'd be from here, maybe to here, and then in that case, you could keep this chair here. If no one's accessing this table because this chair can't be there because it's within 5 feet, you would have a perimeter here, and then to close the gap, you need the perimeter here. And yeah, this half of the perimeter would not be able to be there.
Yeah, but it's not part of the building. That's what I'm not really understanding. How can
So
cafe give up like half of its sidewalk to the building when it's not part of the building?
I know, Elena, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. So here's the deal, it's about that building entrance that is not part of your building or your cafe. That is the main point of egress for people. So the rule is that it's not even about it being your entrance. That's actually the entire point, that it's not your entrance, not part of your storefront facade, your storefront. It's that needs to be accessible. This is not us with a subjective thing. It's in the rules. It just says the primary building entrance needs 5 feet, and that's the what is next to a restaurant.
Yeah, I
That's it.
can pull up the dining so you can see.
I'm not clear how we are supposed to like put like a wall halfway through the window, or.
Yeah, that's what everyone has to do. You have to go in to meet the clearance.
Yeah, it's not really.
So we have to actually like put like a wall.
It's not a wall, it's just like the perimeter. So like, this is an example. Imagine there's a primary building entrance here.
Right.
And then 5 feet, and then here's your.
But you see how that 5 feet does not go into their window.
So here's the deal. It's not about the window. Okay.
Now
imagine
that the window is right here.
I mean,
this part with the 3, that's the whole thing is the window. So I would have to build a wall in the middle of the window.
Yeah, it's really just not a negotiation. It's just either you meet it or you don't. I mean, that's it. I mean, we would like to find compromise here to comply with what the rules are, so that way it doesn't get called up to a DOT public hearing.
So does it have to be a wall?
It's just
your barrier. It's your barrier.
Like any barrier, basically any barrier.
Like the, where did I go? Like what you have. Sorry, I'm trying to, my screen is having problems. Just like what you have here. You know, a perimeter. to-
Okay, so I can take that gate and just like move it, make sure that the 5 feet starts with the wall, with the inner wall of the building entrance. Is that what it is?
It would need to be 5 feet from the door
Yeah.
here.
Oh, from the door. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever that yields you, it's left, great. Okay?
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I think, are we done on this one? Okay, thank you so much, Elena. We appreciate
How long? How much time do we have to do we have to fix the drawing? Like, do I have to return it back to the architect? Okay, and then I have to submit it to DOT or you guys?
You need to submit it to us and we'll send you, and we'll send these out.
Send it to DOT.
Yeah, oh yeah, you also want to send it to DOT, but we need to send it to us so we know that the changes were made and then we can send it along. With them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, bye. All right, closing hearing on 24. So next we're gonna go to number 20, Bufana Inc., DBA El Piccolo Buffalo, 141 Mulberry Street. Is anyone here to testify on this application?
But he's raising it.
Don't see anybody.
Okay, then I say we move it to business session.
Okay.
21. Sabor Argentino Core DBA Sabor Argentino, 57 7th Avenue South for a Sidewalk Cafe. Is anyone here to testify on this application? The applicant here. Okay, I'm gonna move that to business session. For 22, Blackstone Coffee Roasters Core DBA Blackstone Coffee Roasters at 502 Hudson Street for a Sidewalk Cafe. Is there anyone here to testify on that application? Or the applicant? Seeing none, let's go to number 23, Osteria Piemonte Corporation, DBA San Carlo Osteria Piemonte at 90 Thompson Street for a Sidewalk Cafe. The proposed Sidewalk Cafe width on Thompson is less than 3 feet, not ADA compliant. Do we have anyone here to testify on this application? Seeing none, I'm gonna move that to business session. So let's go to our business session. If anyone needs to do anything, please, sorry, just accidentally threw that pen. It's getting a little crazy. Thank you. All right, so let's go through these in order. Legendary Night Spots Inc. DBA The Duplex. We had one person testify on it for a Sidewalk Cafe.
Okay, so I did go out and measure everything that they have out there now, which was in operation on Sunday. There's some scaffolding on part of their frontage, and therefore there's a jog in their cafe border or barrier. It is a wooden barrier, so it's solid. The biggest problem is at the corner. From what I could interpret on the plan, they actually have a diagonal line from the building corner that to their cafe. It's not a right angle, it's a diagonal corner, which would clear the light pole and the curb cut and all of the other obstacles that are at the corner. But right now, there is only 5 feet, 8 inches of clearance from their barrier to the corner obstacles, which is clearly not.
Oh, so we didn't put on there that it didn't meet the clear path, but it's because we found from measuring, is that right?
Right now, they don't have a clear, the 10-foot is a clear path. I think some comment was this should be 12 foot, but it's a regional 10 feet.
Okay.
But 5 feet, 8 inches for corner clearance is obviously way, way out of line. And that's the way they've been set up for a long time.
Question, when we're looking at this, at the diagram that they submitted to us, Brian, when you see this red thing that's not the fire hydrant, but something else that's circled, what is that? The manhole? Okay.
I think I've seen them notated like that before.
I just wasn't sure.
Okay.
What is the address?
And did you?
Well, they don't have a, yeah, they didn't do a diagram. They did an aerial view and then they annotated it. So that was kind of unusual.
Yeah, I think it's a manhole.
Looks like a
It's nice to see everything.
So your point is that the outer boundary is extended further?
Yes.
So they're using more than the 8.5 foot width?
Yeah, they don't have their barrier where the green line is on their diagram.
And what were they using as their fixed barrier on the north part?
They continue this black painted plywood wall.
Because it would seem if they have permanent furniture for their barrier, that it would be set up at the proper distance because it would be built to be 8.5 feet. That's why I ask. I didn't have a chance to make it over there. So that's, I think that's something that we would want.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I was saying that I asked Brian what at the north barrier is, and he said it's some sort of a custom plywood built.
Without like what they had before.
Right, so if that's properly built, the width of the sidewalk cafe should be clear. Because it would just be 8.5 feet and then they can maintain that all the way down. But if that's larger, that's the issue of where it's.
That is the issue. They jog it.
And the southern barrier is the same.
It's not in a straight line.
Do they still have an enclosed cafe there?
No.
Okay.
This is a 42-inch height.
Oh.
And I did not verify myself that these barriers weren't attached to the sidewalk.
Oh.
I did verify other restaurant cafes to make sure they weren't fastened to the sidewalk, but I did not do that for Duplex.
So the wooden things which are shown in their pictures remain as the barriers?
Like they took
The
off
ones
top
in the pictures, well, they're no, I would say no, they built something new.
Okay. Because I think that's just what we want them to do, right, is to correct the current setup.
That's right.
Okay, so there's a pathway on this one.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pathway, but they must comply with all the measurements, including at the diagonal at the corner, because right now they're not in compliance.
Okay, so all those in favor to approve with modifications?
Aye.
Aye. The Duplex, aye. Okay, great. Okay, so next, Wogies.
What did she call it? Wogies?
Wogies. I had no idea. I know people that grew up here that call it Wogies, so I did not know I was.
With the soft G, Wogies?
It's soft G.
Yeah, Wogies.
Yeah.
Right. So it sounds like there's a pathway to an approval with modifications if they move the perimeter in, right, on Greenwich.
Actually,
Or is it
Carter.
on Charles.
Carter was saying that their label for the sidewalk width is wrong, and it should be 18 feet.
Right, I mean, that's what the
Yeah.
whole plan
Oh, that
shows.
they can, oh.
So I think they just need to properly determine if that's the measurements or whatever they are.
Oh, right, on Greenwich.
And they either need to adjust in or out, but
But they need to move that, do they move to reduce the length or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not, they don't need to change anything
They
unless,
just need to relabel the sidewalk as.
well, they need to double check.
Double check it, but.
Is there anything on Charles Street we need them to do?
We talked about adding the trash,
Oh, to make it accurate.
yeah.
Okay.
And then also adding the cellar doors in the, primary building entrance on Greenwich Avenue.
Just and add the cellar door on Greenwich Avenue.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so approve with modifications. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we're gonna go to Violet Force LLC. DBA Ciccio Cincin. 681 Washington Street. Is there a path? Oh, we didn't talk about this
We're
one.
gonna talk about this one.
This one, my only note was just to have the perimeter continuous. Let me look. Yeah, because they have right now the perimeter is open on the pedestrian clear path side. They would need to enter from the cafe from the restaurant entrance side.
Right, so that means that the space is okay, but the barriers aren't, and they would have to reconfigure the tables, fewer.
Not necessarily. I mean, no, not necessarily. The chairs can pull in. I mean, they've got 5.5 feet there. So that seems plenty of room for
Maybe
a
there are
table
two,
and 2
yeah.
chairs.
It just might not
A
be.
table and 2 chairs.
Right. This way, in 5.5 feet, a table and 2 chairs certainly would fit in 5.5 feet this way, and then you could walk by it. I think their drawing is not, they're filling up the whole space, and I don't think it needs to be filled.
You're right. We can't rely on these drawings for
Right.
depicting the actual chairs and table sizes and so on. So yes, the amount of space that they have seems to be adequate for a cafe. We're not sure exactly how many tables and chairs, but they have to enclose it so that they're not
Right.
serving from the side.
Right.
That's, that would be my major objection to the plan.
I think that's it. So boilerplate ADA, adjust perimeter so it's continuous, and maintain service aisle within Sidewalk Cafe and configure the tables accordingly. So modification with approval?
Yes.
All in
Yes.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is Vevamo Partners LLC, DBA Bar V, which they said might be withdrawn. And I will email DOT tomorrow. I don't know. I've sent DOT a couple emails.
Nevertheless, even if they're not, we should still.
Yeah. I was just thinking about emailing DOT and how they haven't responded to my last 2 emails, but I will try.
Our action in this active application is to deny, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it really doesn't, I mean, 2 feet, 2 inches.
It's not.
That's right.
And also,
We'll include all the public testimony that we heard again, unless, but we should still send in our comments, like just send them in tomorrow.
Yeah, I had written down, they need to add 8-foot clear path between tree pit and cafe. Check box.
I mean, if we just send this in tomorrow, then what is it worth about whether it was withdrawn or not? We can still find out.
they may do the sort of passive discontinuance by not paying any other fees, right? Which is what others have done.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
They don't.
Submitting an application.
Yeah, they.
to Send their time.
Yeah, well, they submit the application and then they just don't continue it. They don't actually, you know, it's up to them if they want to.
Right.
To withdraw.
Is there primary building entrance?
Like, for example, you see that on the hearings when they get put over because they haven't paid.
Because they haven't paid the fee.
Yeah.
To have the.
Oh, yeah, and there's also been like weird where they're just removed. It just says they've been removed that I've heard lately. Okay, so that's. We voted on Cincin, and now we're on number 4. So
And is there a primary building entrance there?
No, there's
No, okay. Okay.
Okay, so you want to continue or you want me to? So Barbie, denial, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. So next, we're gonna go to number 5, which we haven't talked about yet. Elmer Kennedy LLC. DBA Pasquale Jones, 86 Kenmare for a sidewalk cafe. There's no one here to testify from the
They
applicant.
told us they were gonna be here, but they're not.
Oh,
Right?
so how do they?
It said
They
that.
said they wouldn't be here.
This
This from SLA or something, or?
SLA. SLA last week.
For 3 approved.
Who's their representation?
Okay, so Pascal Jones. They right now only have 7 feet in some places and 8 feet in other clear path along Kenmare. And requires 10. And there is a principal building entrance at 86 Kenmare.
Right.
To the right side or
So there's many issues.
left side of this.
Any issues?
No, but Brian's, there's a number of issues. I mean,
Right, so with those modifications, they pull in the barriers and to the curb for the clearance of 10 feet and over 5 feet from the principal building entrance.
I think
you would then be within compliance as far as I could tell.
And I think that the challenge too, right, just from looking at these pictures and is that the building entrance is a railing, so it doesn't, they may just use it all the way up to that spot, but it still requires the 5 foot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember noticing that too.
Yeah.
That in order to have a 5 foot clearance, their entrance is right next to the primary building entrance. And therefore, if they move that barrier to the other side of their door, then they've gotten all the clearances.
And they mark the fire escape, but I'm not so sure that they're always in compliance with that setup.
They also say only 8 feet from the traffic light. They do like an 8 foot radius, but that needs to be 10. Even in their diagram, it's parallel to the cafe.
Okay. So is there?
Yeah.
Is there a pathway here?
Yeah.
Okay, so, approval, all those in favor of approval with modification?
One more modification just to note is I would add that they need to bring in those planters and furnishing elements into the footprint of their sidewalk cafe, because I don't see them clearly denoted in the
the
design.
furnishing zone?
No, the planters, like
Their application photos, they have planters outside of their perimeter.
Okay. So approval with modifications?
Yeah.
All those in- Aye. So number 6, Akram Restaurant Management DBA Gennaro.
This is one where Brian.
Did that really not have the 3 feet, less than 3 feet wide on Mulberry? It was okay.
On their diagram, they said that it was enough, but Brian measured and it's not.
Okay.
Right. 12-foot sidewalk, which means only 2 feet of cafe space, which isn't enough for ADA. But they have fully openable window walls. And so whether they could get an exception for serving within that 2 foot space, that's doesn't meet the ADA for, yeah, so it doesn't meet the ADA, so
So we had denial. This one, so all those in favor for denial?
Are we still going to send
Aye.
them? Or the only other modification would be primary building entrance.
So next one is San Paolo Hospitality LLC DBA Ambra.
Well, they are deleting the West 11th Street Cafe,
Yeah.
and so I think there's a path, so.
Okay.
Additional approval?
Yeah, yes.
They need to,
5 foot,
line is not accurate to the placement of the light. The light is perpendicular, straight across from their sidewalk cafe, the light pole.
yes,
So they need to,
and they need to show the PVE on Hudson and the 5 foot clearance.
Right.
All those in favor of approval of modifications for Ambra? I mean, sorry,
Aye.
for,
Umbra,
Yeah, Umbra.
yes, number 7, Umbra.
no,
That's what we're on.
we're on, oh, it is, sorry.
Seven.
I was seeing Akram and Ambra as the same thing.
That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So next, let's go to Arvine Hospitality LLC, DBA Arvine, 19 Greenwich Avenue. So it sounds like there's a pathway on that one versus the second one. So
Yeah, this one was just the PDEs to either side,
On both sides, yes.
which definitely has been.
so what do they have to do, remove?
Basically, it goes back to what the historic plan is to some extent.
yeah,
Right, yeah,
I mean, it's just,
yep.
4 tables, 8 seats, and
Okay.
okay. So all those in favor for approval with modifications?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So next, 20X Hospitality LLC, Spicy Moon.
I noticed that we had made an error in another one that we had given feedback on. It was a similar situation where they have the bar going across where that step is.
Oh,
And
you
it was for the Dutch.
Did we talk about it?
I thought
No, we were okay with it because we didn't have.
I thought they removed, they
No,
weren't.
no, it's not, it's still, but these are just these types of things that, if they make their own changes, that's not up to us, that's up to them.
No, I do not see a way to make this compliant.
No, I don't know, I have no idea if they need to.
But also, we
railing
can't tell
has
them to
be-
take the railing. I mean, it's really.
No, I mean, if they change the railing, I don't know what they can and can't do, but if you didn't have the railing on the east side going off, and if it was just a step down, then that.
It still isn't compliance for accessibility for people, for customers to get to those tables and chairs because of the step. So they,
You mean from-
there may be, yes, you're right, there may be some modifications that they make to the sidewalk to somehow make that entrance work. But it would also mean removing the ramp.
No, it wouldn't be removing the ramp, it would just be removing the railing.
No, I'm saying that doesn't do it.
Step down,
That does not do it. That will,
like the ramp leads to a raised platform.
So it sounds like we have a denial.
yeah, I believe this is a denial because there's no path.
Okay, so all those in favor for denial?
Aye.
Okay, all right, number 10, Irina Restcore DBA Arte Restaurant, 21 East 9th Street.
With the,
I think that's like a path there, so I.
oh yeah, it's, they actually didn't Well, they need to show the 5 feet to the principal building entrance, but otherwise, I think they're,
So approve with modifications
Yes.
for number 10,
yes.
Arte Restaurant.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 11, Emmy Squared Bedford LLC, DBA Emily. I don't really know how this works.
We received a lot of complaints. I think through time, but pointed it out verbally as well, because of the plastic awning.
Right.
That basically made this a very narrow sidewalk, which is why I raised that. I don't know if the measurements, what can be done. Just like some of the other things, it is, with the other things sticking out from other buildings,
right.
That's, creates something a little bit different, but starts at the corner. I don't know.
Is there anything?
I'm not necessarily against it, but I think that they said they were going to work with the measurements, right? And go back and revisit it. So that's what we don't have.
Yeah.
In front of us.
Is there anything we can ask them to modify?
Not that would make a difference for the ADA.
Right.
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 So
and I think that you can't share the clear path. That's at least nobody has said that.
That's right.
Okay, so do we want to, are we moving to?
Well, I think that what we heard from them though is that they may not have been as careful in measuring this. I don't know if anybody else had gone out and measured it.
Yes, I did.
And were their measurements here consistent with what you
No,
had? You find the sidewalk was more narrow or wider?
yes, 9 foot 11 inches on Downing, which means with an 8 foot clear.
So
Basically the same as what they have. They have 10.1, you have 9.
well, they have 10.7.
10.7, okay.
You're saying it was 9 foot 1 inch.
9/11.
Oh, 9/11.
9/11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that really makes it more of an issue. All right, and that's pretty much the answer then.
I really want it, I wish there's a way to make it work. I just don't see how you make the sidewalk bigger. Outside of that to make it work. Okay, so we don't have any modifications. I don't know what we would ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like we're gonna move towards a denial on this one.
Yes.
Again, which just, it's gonna continue throughout the application process. But this is just because of the comment on the, it's just not ADA accessible, and that's consistent with what we've done on other applications, other sidewalk cafe applications, so.
And I think you would just need to comment that because they're one of the first people to raise it, that the clear path can't be shared,
Okay.
right?
To achieve
achieve
ADA accessibility.
Right.
Okay,
That's
important to.
That's a reasonable response, but that's not right. The clear path is.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so all those in favor for denial?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so next we're going to go to number 12, Saigon In and Out for DBA Saigon Shack at 114 McDougal Street. This one we have not talked about yet, so there's no one here to testify from the applicant or the public. So we need to talk about this one.
There is a primary building entrance to the right.
And it's not on the site.
It's not labeled as a primary building entrance. It's labeled building entrance, but they also don't have the 5 feet. I would probably take out a table. And then their measurements at the bottom are wrong. In the diagram, it says a width of 3.5 feet, but then at the bottom of the page, it says 11.5 feet.
Oh, they probably,
They
added the two thing, yeah.
Okay. So let's get
I mean,
back to that.
this side of McDougal Street is a huge challenge. And so I just.
I mean.
The measurements and having the tables and chairs perpendicular, I don't see how that. I mean, are those measurements accurate? Because this is, when we walked down here with the DOT.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, they were taking pictures of all the non-compliant setups on the side of McDougal Street, so.
Get myself situated.
Well, I can verify that the measurements are accurate.
They are accurate.
The clear path of 8 feet
Oh.
plus the cafe of 3 6.
I think they always have a table out on the sidewalk with like the fake food.
So I think that in this particular case, I'm not sure it's reasonable when those tables and chairs are perpendicular that they fit within the 3 feet 6 inches.
Yeah.
With the barrier. So it doesn't mean that they can't, the box within which the seating can be is okay.
Yeah.
But it's not the way that they depicted in the photographs of what actually fits. So, and it's also surprising with the sidewalk hatch that they didn't have that as reinforced.
For the cellar.
I mean, excuse me, the
They don't.
cellar basement door.
Okay, so we should check on that.
Well, they don't have seating on top of it.
Oh.
Right.
It's not on the plan?
It is on the plan.
Oh, then what's the issue?
Well, that they're not using it, and is there a building entrance on that side, or is that?
I'm not
It's
on.
another store.
Okay, there's some sort of a metal railing with a.
Yes,
With
something
the
that goes
ATM.
down. Yeah, with an ATM.
I was
Not allowed to be on the exterior anyway. That's illegal street furniture as well.
So I would say in order to make this plan compliant, I've gotten to the point where I want to say on every notation, you must have a barrier, a demarcation barrier set up for any seats to be on the side. Because nobody's doing it, and they're as if checking the box doesn't mean anything.
They have, and that's the thing, most people had them before, and then all of a sudden the warm weather came, and then a couple of that
So if
after.
these tables and chairs were parallel, if they reinforced the basement hatch, they could still have 3 tables and 6 seats. It looks like in a pretty reasonable fashion, so I think that just.
We should ask them to do that.
To make the modifications.
Yeah, because the hatch should actually be reinforced. There are some situations where the hatch is there and the tables are far enough away that nobody's on the hatch, but in this instance, people are on the hatch, whether the table is sitting on top of it or not, but I think.
Yeah, we don't know, unfortunately, if they need regular access through their hatch. Some businesses in these older.
Yeah, but it's just,
buildings
it's
do,
right on
because they're
top.
not interior stairwells.
I mean, what we do know is that on a regular basis, several tables on this particular block have tables in the furnishing zone. It's such a heavily trafficked,
Quarterly.
yeah, I mean, this is.
Oh, I see now. I'm looking at the Google Maps. I see why they would have the tables perpendicular. And it's because both the primary building entrance that you're referencing, Stella,
Yeah.
and on the north side of the storefront where the ATM is, and then there's stairs going down to 116 McDougal. The door, you can't walk in space because both of those stick out far enough.
On the list.
So the tables and chairs aren't creating any impediment.
Oh, yeah.
Because the impediments are already
there.
Built in,
there.
yeah. Okay. As long as they can walk within the perimeter to those seats.
So they need to show the 5-foot clearance to the building entrance, and also they mark the width of their sidewalk cafe as 11 feet.
Yeah. And this is interesting because
Is that
this
accurate?
is-
Well, wait, let's
No,
see.
that's,
No, they
that's,
just messed up their.
that's the
okay.
width of the sidewalk.
Okay.
But the cafe is only 3.5.
They just
This is an
added.
interesting application because this is actually the type of situation that I think reasonably could request some type of a waiver. Because the primary building entrance is raised.
Right.
It has the railing, and the same condition exists at the other end
So you can't.
of,
Anyways, yeah.
at the other end. This is very rare that we have like this situation, but it's an interesting.
All right.
I still think we should make the recommendation that they're parallel.
Okay, so
It also just looks like they almost have the 5 feet, just looking at the Google Maps, almost, to that table. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're putting another table. It's not on Google Maps. They added another table.
Right.
Got it. They didn't have in September of 2024, so.
okay, so all those in favor to approve the modifications for Saigon Shack?
Yeah, I just, is one of the modifications to remove that one table or just to indicate the 5 feet, which will result in removing that one table? Both. Okay.
But then why do they need to remove the one table if you can't access? I mean, it's not to what you're pointing.
That's just because that's.
I mean, at the bottom, it'll be removed once you put the 5 feet in there. It's not just indicating the 5 feet. That was my question. Is it just a matter of?
There's a photograph in on this Google Street View from August of 2021 with a table and chair there. It's not even. It doesn't even indicate the sidewalk. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It just.
No, it doesn't.
Do we need to ask them to remove it? Remove anything? Okay, so approve the modification.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lunella Ristorante at 173 Mulberry Street. I think this is a denial.
Yeah.
Okay, so denial, all those in favor?
Aye.
753 Washington, Trattoria Inc., DBA Malaparte, 753 Washington Street. So we heard testimony on this, but we haven't talked about it. Is this the one with the weird tree thing?
Wait, Malaparte?
Or is that Malatesta? That's Malaparte, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
We had a public hearing on it right now.
Yeah, no, but was this the one that had the weird tree pit that they put the turf on?
Oh, I gotcha.
Yes, Malparte has a tree pit covered up with, I think, wood board. And so I have that question. How do you treat that? I think that we're supposed to treat it as a tree pit and clear.
Well, it's still an
remains the same.
impediment no matter what.
Well, hadn't we?
Didn't we say that it was still on the tree map?
Yeah, that was.
So we should make that comment.
Yeah. Right,
But then
what they've done is.
well, there was a change, if I recall. There was a change that they did do, and they were correct. Something had been changed by the city. Like there were a number of trees that were there, and I think that one was actually removed. I remember.
I think you're right.
Looking it up, but and it had been filled in or something like that.
Is there a pathway to an approval with modification?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, just to say, they had in the historic cafe, they had 4 tops before with the clearance.
They don't, do they?
Is there any modifications we need to add to the notes to ask for?
The only thing we have right now is just the ADA.
So all those in favor for an approval with modifications?
Aye.
Okay, New Zoe 21 Inc., DBA Local 92 Soho at 244 Mulberry Street. It's not ADA compliant. If there's any additional comments you want to make, otherwise it's gonna move to a vote.
I don't think there's anything else. There's no primary building entrance issues. There's the perimeter line, but that's, it's
Not
same.
the same. Okay. So all those in favor to deny Local 92 Soho?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next, Center for Goods LLC, DBA La Mercerie at RW Guild, 53 Howard Street. So I think there's a pathway to approval of modifications, it sounds like, right? There is. Moving the planters at the corner, the perimeter demarcation, I'll just add that to the.
How is this?
Yeah, I don't see any pathway.
There's no.
You don't see any
pathway. It's
pathway.
not
Okay, so there's no
The,
pathway,
uh,
okay.
The sidewalk.
Oh, that's
is
right, sorry,
only-
I forgot.
Yeah, it's only 11 feet, 10 inches, and it requires a 10-foot clearance.
Okay, and it's a regional corridor? Okay, so all those in favor for a denial? Aye. Okay, Seville Restaurant, DBA Sevilla, so we heard a lot of testimony. When I say a lot, I mean it's the scope and the breadth of it and the documentation is what I'm saying here. Is there a pathway to an approval on this one?
The modifications that I have written down. On West 4th Street, they say that the sidewalk is 10'9", which Leslie Clark also said she got the same thing. But with 8-foot clear path, that would mean the sidewalk cafe is 2'9". But the ADA is satisfied by the other side.
Yeah.
And then there's a primary building entrance at 242nd West 4th Street, so they would need to note that. And then also they need to indicate the 8-foot clearance from the street light on the corner. That's all that I have.
It sounds like with the modifications, we also need to just reinforce nothing related to the cafe and the furnishing zone, which means those cement planters need to be removed. So we can try and see if we can get a pathway to an approval with modification.
Are those planters theirs?
They seem to indicate they were theirs because on the site plan.
Oh, on West.
Is a note that it will be removed when the sidewalk cafe is.
Yeah, okay, well, it's supposed to be in
you know.
compliance now, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I think that should be communicated to them so that they know the steps that they need to take.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so approval of modifications, all those in favor?
Wait, I thought this was like a denial
Why?
Why?
because it has ADA. We're talking about Sevilla restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So I thought there was an ADA concern and also there was just significant community opposition.
I mean, the ADA is satisfied on the Charles Street side.
Okay, so denial for West 4th and then, or like removal of West 4th, but okay on Charles Street.
No, it's okay. We consider the two facades as one cafe. So that the ADA for the entire cafe for both facades is satisfied by the Charles Street one.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
As for
So, I mean, the way we would address the community feedback is in the modifications that they sign is about the no cafe setup in the furnishing zone. Because as you know, we see site plans that don't show anything in the furnishing zone, and then there ends up being stuff in the furnishing zone, and then also about the planters.
Yeah, so the revised plans are very important. We want to work with the applicants to have the revised plans because those stand as something that people can refer to and are available to the public. So the more steps that we get to take to people to properly modify the plans to reflect a legal situation, the better we are, because then people can point back to those plans when they're out of compliance with them. So it's important to have the accurate plans, and I'd rather work with the applicants to get an accurate plan because whatever their bad behavior through now always gets to seemingly get explained away. But with an accurate plan, it's something that can be referred to on an ongoing basis if they choose not to follow the rules going forward.
Yeah, I think for this one, I'm gonna vote to deny just based on the community feedback.
Okay. So we have, all those in favor for approval with modifications?
Aye.
So aye.
Aye.
So we have, 5 approval with modifications, and then, any abstentions, recusals, and denial. So denial is, Arturo.
Thanks.
Yep. Got it.
All right, so next, number 19, Lafayette Street Partners 2 LLC DBA, oh wait, sorry, I went to,
18.
the seller of Amelie LLC DBA Amelie, 22 West 8th Street. So do we try to get an updated, accurate site plan from him? I think this is going to be a denial, I think.
Was this, so explain to me what, so the measurements weren't working? Because
Brian, did you have?
The sidewalk is 12 feet 4 inches.
Oh, so it's not less.
Not ADA.
Oh, got it, okay. I was confused, sorry, I'm just pulling it up because it looked like it was a wider sidewalk. So the information
Yeah.
that he provided got it, okay.
You said the sidewalk width is what?
12 feet 4 inches.
Okay. So, it sounds like we're moving towards a denial on this one. Is there anything we would want updated on that site plan?
And there's also a primary building entrance.
Yeah, that needs to be shown at.
And the perimeter.
Yes, to be.
Okay, so maybe we just communicate that to the DOT then. All right, so denial, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 19. Lafayette Street Partners 2 LLC DBA Lafayette at 380 Lafayette Street. I think.
I don't think we have any.
I don't think we have anything, did
I
we?
feel like they were,
Oh,
I think they were,
we do ask for the PVE notes.
yeah, on Lafayette. And then just to check the box as a fire hydrant.
Oh, yeah, okay, so, all right, so all those in favor for approval with modifications?
Aye.
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 20, Bufana Inc. LLC DBA El Pico Buffalo. This was a Robert one or no?
No, we didn't talk about this.
Business session.
This one is not ADA, it's 2 feet wide. Or 2'2".
Yeah, approximately. And so there's no way to meet ADA except if they seem to have a lot of open wall space, and the sidewalk seems to be very close to their floor on that side. But, that's as straightforward. There's not enough space to meet ADA, but with an open wall, maybe. So I don't know how we want to handle that.
What do you mean with an open wall?
They could serve it, but
Yeah, but they still can't sit. It's not the service, it's the sitting. If it's not 36 inches, the wheelchair can't, at least 32.
Okay. So denial, all eyes in favor?
Yeah.
One other thing is, they didn't check the box for the cellar door, but they show a table on top of the cellar door. So I just need to check the box.
I also would like to note that they had crowded the sidewalk to the point that there was only 3 feet 6 inches left for a path. They had furnishing in the furnishing zone, and they had tables, chairs, menu boards, all kinds of stuff out on the sidewalk.
That's Mulberry.
Security. So really using.
Okay. All right, so all those in favor for denial?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
So next, Sabor Argentino, 4 DBA Sabor Argentino, 57 7th Avenue South. We moved this one to business session because no one was here to testify on it. Is there a pathway to an approval with modifications?
Yes, we need to ask them to provide a dimension from the PBE at 57 Seventh Avenue South, which can be complied with if they, right now they have their barrier right next to that PBE, because their door is then right next to that. So
They just have to remove that barrier.
they have to move that barrier over to the other side of their door. And this is one of those that they were, used to be aggressive violators. They had an enclosed sidewalk. But now that they've taken that down, this is another custom wooden barricade, solid wood. It is not secured to the sidewalk. It sure seems like it, but it's not.
Okay, so all those in favor for an approval? Yep. Modifications? Aye. Okay, so next we have Blackstone. Excuse me, Coffee Roasters, Core DBA Blackstone Coffee Roasters at 502 Hudson Street. Is there a path to an approval with modifications?
Okay. Yes, this, was there a primary building?
No,
Yes?
No.
No, I didn't notice that.
Commercial side.
So, yeah, it seemed like they, oh, yeah, this is another one. They had a enclosed sidewalk cafe built out there, but now it's taken down. This is another plywood, solid wood barrier. It is not secured to the sidewalk.
Yeah, so they basically cut out the top of that, what's in the photos, because when it was submitted was August 2nd, 2024.
That's.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, recent changes.
So this one is.
No, August
that.
2024.
No, August 2024. This is when they submitted, the photos are from August 2024.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they had that up through spring.
Yeah.
And I don't know, June, July,
And
maybe.
they cut it down to
Yeah.
so.
So they now seem to comply.
Yeah, that's
comply
exactly
with
what
the
they
plan.
have in there is what's shown. So all those in favor? For approval of modification, I haven't even said what it is. Aye, okay. Next, Osteria Piemonte Corporation, DBA San Carlo Osteria Piemonte at 90 Thompson Street. We moved this from the business session. It looks like it is not not ADA accessible. So it looks like we're going towards it now. Is there any pathway to an approval of modifications?
Once again, they do have an open bowl or an open wall and accessible from the inside side of that cafe. Which in this case, they could actually, a person in a wheelchair could roll up to the table from the inside.
Oh.
Although there's a little ledge. Just looking at Google Maps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is a
But-
pretty, I don't think they're limited by the sidewalk width, but just from the tree pit, they need the 8 feet. And I think that's their problem.
Okay.
That is a problem, but this is another one of those paved over tree pits. It's
Oh,
flush
it's-
with-
Yeah,
It's paved over now?
And so, yeah, if we strictly
Oh.
by tree pit dimensions, it gets.
So is there
very
a
tight.
pathway to modifications on this one? Or
So the bench built around the tree pit's no longer there?
That's right.
okay.
It's not there because they have the tree pit in their thing. So if they remove the tree pit, then I think.
It's either there or it's not there, right?
Is it there?
Well, I don't know, you say that they paved over it completely, or is it awaiting a
They
tree?
Filled in the tree pit with pavers. It's flush with the sidewalk.
No, I understand, but is it
But there's a
slated for a
city.
new tree?
No,
Or
tree
is
mat.
it,
It's been without a tree. I spoke with the proprietor.
Oh,
He said it's been that way for a long time, except that it wasn't as smoothly paved as it is now.
And who?
But the tree has been there for
Paving.
a long time. So,
I don't know, I mean, his pictures has a tree in it. A tree in the tree pit, so I don't know what that, with the bench built around it in the pictures they've submitted. So I'm just going by
Well, I
what's
took
there.
pictures when it was there.
Okay.
Let's see where that is. It's yellow.
It's the cross street.
So,
It's off of Spring.
okay.
I mean, I'm looking at September 24 Google Maps. I see a tree.
Okay, let's see, Brian.
This is my picture 2 days ago. It's absolutely flush and
Doesn't
clear.
even look like a tree pit.
Oh, yeah.
I see that you can't see it in the, I don't know what it's too glaring, right?
No, I mean, I get what you're trying to show.
Well, anyway, that's the condition.
Tree map shows 92, and then it shows something that in the playground it says, but this one, that's interesting. This tree doesn't have an address. It looks.
There's no
it would
tree.
be-
I only see 92.
Yeah, I see 88, 92, but there's a
Okay.
green dot.
Right, 92 Thompson.
Yeah, there's a green dot between 88 and 92. There's one little green dot that looks like it's in the playground though. Who knows? It says closest address Vesuvio Playground. So anyway, if the tree isn't there, then.
Okay. So is there a pathway to approval with modifications or not?
They remove the tree, then
Yeah, I think we should, condition any approval on that the tree.
yeah, if they remove the tree, then it's a 8-foot clear path, 12-foot sidewalk,
So
so.
the tree's removed in Brian's photo. So is there
Like,
a
did the
path?
city remove the tree, or is the city, like, is it officially demapped?
There's not a tree on the tree map. There's 92.
There's a green dot in the playground there.
But that's not, the playground is across the street.
Sure.
I mean, am I wrong? I mean, I don't know why it's,
You're correct. The playground is across the street.
is there anything we need to ask them to do to get to an approval with modifications?
There's a primary building.
Okay. So all those in favor for an approval with modification?
Wait, sorry, just. I'm seeing that it's not ADA compliant, and are we also saying that it is?
So,
Sorry, I forgot. So, so why does it say, so then why did that get put on the agenda then?
so, because as it currently is, it's only 2.5 feet wide, but that's because they indicated the tree pit. And so they needed an 8-foot diagonal from the tree pit.
But it's not a tree pit.
Right, when they submitted it, it was.
I mean,
Okay.
I think it is
So
a
then we
tree
need to-
pit.
so-
Okay, so the other point that we are discussing is it ADA accessible or not? And I measured the sidewalk is 11 feet, 0 inches.
11.
With an 8-foot,
So they
11,
3 feet.
yeah, 11-foot 0.
For one
8-foot
table.
Clear path, that's a 3-foot cafe. That we have found to be acceptable.
Yes.
Can you just text me that photo so I can put the photo up? Do you mind? And in the photos on the application, there's a tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was submitted in July of last year.
So, 92, so.
That's what it's me.
There you go.
There were cobblestones, it looks like, from the picture all under the tree pit before. I remember this place. Pictures of this.
What is San this?
That's like just the name of the restaurant, I guess.
Yeah.
San Carlo.
Oh, okay, I was looking for Osteria, got it. Okay, so there it is.
I mean, if the one on, what were we looking at? On Bethune Street was removed from the map and it was just turfed over, I would guess that this is also a legit seed tree.
I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like that somebody cut down this tree. I don't like that they paved over it. It's very suspicious. And I don't think that's the type of behavior that we should be rewarding. Not that they necessarily did it, but somebody did, and now it's conveniently benefiting them.
But it's not on the New York City tree
Tree
map
map.
anymore, which would be what, Department of Parks or who runs that?
I mean, yeah, I'd like to understand who removed this tree and why.
Well, I do know that the city removes trees when they're unhealthy.
Yeah, and it looks like this.
We see that quite frequently throughout our community board
I mean,
when they're.
it looks, it's hard to see, but it looks like there's no leaves on it. The leaves are from the tree in the back. You see like here, there's leaves on it here, on this tree over here, but none here. So I'm guessing that it just was a dead tree.
Yeah, and they fortunately do come and cut them down, and a lot of the tree pits themselves are not. When we went through the park that's over the NYU cogeneration plant, I learned a lot about the tree pits themselves and how they're built, and some of them are too small to sustain trees, and I think that they end up closing them up because they're not big enough. And we have outlier trees that are very large, but the tree pits themselves are not often big enough to sustain the trees. And then when they have to be pruned so the trucks don't hit them and other stuff that cause damage, and so they end up unfortunately taking out trees.
So that big tree on the left that you saw in Stella's photo is this tree on the tree map.
92.
Yeah, it's 92, because you can see it in the photo. So you see how the yellow of the Osteria is over here? And this is where all the tree, if there was a tree, it would be right over here. There's nothing on the map. So this shows you all that's the inspector, that's the inspection report for the one at 92, which is the bigger tree.
12-inch trunk diameter.
I think they said it's
Japanese pagoda tree.
Yeah, 12-inch trunk diameter. So there's May 18, 2025 is when we say this image was taken. It was last inspected on September 5th, 2023. There is no record of the tree right here. So
It's had a bench around it since 2013.
maybe the bench technically would.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm back on Google Maps from, then for a little thing. It was okay, but then 2017 it got.
only work scheduled on an actively managed tree will be visible. Tree planting where no trees yet present. Sidewalk repair, which and stump removal where a tree is no longer present. Work will not be visible on the map. Okay, so I'm going to move to vote all of this approval with modifications, and I'll take all the other votes as well. So all those in favor for an approval with modifications? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
And recusals, okay? So,
Arturo, deny?
yes, I already
Yeah,
got.
yeah, I'm voting to deny. Mhm.
Okay, fine.
I have to get back to my sheet, so you gotta wait a second. Cafe Reggio, let's start talking about that one. Is there a pathway to an approval with modifications or moving those chairs?
several items on the notes for additional. 5 feet to the PBE was a big one. We had
Okay.
A lot of discussion about that, didn't we?
So,
But
okay.
otherwise,
Let me just get back to my vote sheet. Okay, so all those in favor for an approval with modifications on Cafe Reggio?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let me just document that other vote. My sheet back up. Okay, new business, how many applications did we receive on Monday? 6, 5, 6?
Yes.
Is there something of note on one of those? There was one that's like, seemed it was of note.
Didn't look at them yet.
That really quickly. Okay, hold on. One moment, I just want to pull up, 'cause there's one I wanted to just quickly, that stood out to me. Oh, GMT Tavern, what was that? I don't know why. That's it, okay.
Was that they couldn't, we couldn't download one of them, remember?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I couldn't do number,
What was number 10?
it was the art restaurant, number,
Arte Restaurant?
yeah, Arte.
Okay, we'll just want to get that corrected on the,
That way you can upload it to OneDrive, not down.
That's the problem.
I guess why can't we access it on the website? That's the question, right?
Well, you can, absolutely.
No, Brian's saying he couldn't access it on the website.
Oh, okay.
I went.
I could download it.
Opened up our
I downloaded it.
minute agenda and you can't.
Oh, I didn't know, okay, which one is that?
Number 10.
Number 10 on your current agenda?
Yes.
Tonight's agenda? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So should I end?
Is there any other new business? I just want to say we had 6 applications that came in on Monday.
6. Okay.
Okay, then I'm gonna adjourn this meeting at 10:02
Oh,
p.m.
wait.
What?
Our next meeting, 6:30, because right now it says 5:30 on the website.
It needs to be 6.
6:30, okay.
Yeah.
September 9th.
Okay.
What is it?
September 9th.
Okay, all right, so, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second, motion to adjourn.
I can't do it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, okay, great.
Second.
Thanks, so,
All right.
great.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Can we end the meeting? Can I